what was that? Let's restart that again. Why don't we? 1 second.
And I asked people to raise their hand. They like smelling their books, and most of them did raise their hand.
I'm a comic book sniffer.
Smell that? That's the smell of new comic books.
So I was glad to see that because I've been laughed at on more than one occasion for that. You asshole.
It's been a long day, you guys. Sometimes even the professional podcasters got to mess up every once in a while. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Monday night. It is Modern Comic Mayhem. We've got a lot of fun stuff to talk about tonight. We have got Silver Surfer rumors, more comic drama for your mama, and all kinds of people jumping in throughout the show. You guys know how the Saturday night works. It is Modern Comic Mayhem. And our first combatant into the arena tonight is an excellent podcaster, an excellent content creator, and one of this community's finest. Ladies and gentlemen, what up, Thoro?
Yeah, what's going on, man? Glad to be here. Savage Army, we're in the damn building.
Hey. Well, not only do I have to bring in Thoro, I got to bring in another amazing content creator who did an amazing show with Thoro earlier this week that we're going to get into definitely. Ladies and gentlemen, Red Hood's in the house.
Man, I was going to take the night off, man, and I saw my man on there. I said, I got to get on, man. What's going on?
How you feeling, bro?
I'm better, man. I had the one-day flu. I'm glad it wasn't COVID, man. Like,
yeah.
I've been...
Yeah.
You ain't gonna get me, fool.
Yeah. Shout out to Richie. Richie is fighting it right now. He said he's finally starting to feel a little bit better, but man, yeah,
man,
everybody's
COVID loves some Hispanics, bro. Dude, it's coming after me, dude.
It loves everybody.
It's coming at me like a chupacabra, bro.
All right, you guys. MCM, Modern Comic Mayhem. You guys know how we do. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Beyond Wednesdays, we do it live every Saturday night, every Wednesday night. And we've got all kinds of goodies coming here. So,
hey, bro, I found out why I didn't get a 9.8, dude.
Oh, you got one, bro.
Hey, chapter 3, the screw over. They'll send it back, and then we'll give them a 9.8. No, I'm just playing.
How do you like that? How'd you get that?
I ordered it off of the CGC website.
Yeah,
and it's pretty nice, dude. Like, I was like, okay, all right. And I was looking at. Let me tell you, Matt Nelson is like the king of like just detecting restoration, and it's pretty in depth as far as from leaf casting to tear seals. Tear seals is an old school trick, and heating, cleaning with bleach, bleaching, and ways to detect restoration if you're an amateur collector. So it's pretty cool.
Well, you should be all over that, man.
Oh,
that
yeah.
should be your nighttime reading for the next couple months. Right?
Yeah, man. But you don't even have to read it to understand it. You know what I mean? There's a lot of pictures.
Yeah.
So if you're dyslexic or anything, man, this book is for you.
Well, I want to shout out Josh International Comics. He is finishing up his foreign weekend sales. It was Foreign Weekend Part 6. And you know how that works. It was always fun to shoot the shit with those guys and watch them doing their foreign stuff. But one of the books, interestingly enough, that he brought up a couple of weeks ago was a book that you guys were talking about recently on Keep It Thorough that is very interesting that we're going to get into here, you guys. Let me show you guys this. I want to remind everybody, if you're not already following Keep It Thorough on YouTube, there's a problem. Most of you guys already are. So, but if you're not, the link is in the live chat. I will drop it in the description below. Man, your guys' live streams have just been killing it lately. And you dropped a live stream about the Black Adam movie, which is your most recent one. But the ASM foil shenanigans show was very, very interesting. And basically, it was you guys kind of bringing up this whole debacle that happened with this foil ASM book from Mexico. I can't remember if it was a Lamole con or not. You guys are gonna have to remind me on that, but it was a variant that was put out many moons ago, and it, I guess, was shown back up at NYCC. I saw Comic Mint. I saw, who was the other one, Thorough? That
it was KRS Comics, and then there was one more, man. And I always keep apologizing to that store. It just keeps freaking slipping my mind. That was selling it that very day.
Yeah, and it's very interesting because this book, of course, was a variant for, was it Lamole Con? Is that what it was?
Nah, that one right there. No, this is from a specific store. I forget the name actually for the store that came out with this. But before all this, there was already a whole foil 3-pack. If you guys have ever seen them, included this ASM 300, but it had a black border around it. It wasn't all full from top to bottom, like the way you guys see this on this one. So this is a whole brand new one. It was not a New York Comic Con exclusive. I actually had, the opportunity to speak with Comic Mint, with the owner. So I had a one-on-one session, behind the scenes, and I had to go ahead and just talk because there was a lot of stuff that was coming out. You know what I'm saying? Like from New York Comic Con, where a lot of things were, people were saying, yeah, that some folks from KRS Comics was upset with Comic Mint. So Comic Mint kind of, helped break down the whole situation, and they helped me understand exactly what went down and why people were having, the view that they were having. So if you guys want me to break it down, I was going to save it for my show because I said, like for me, I always keep it real. I keep it a buck with everybody. And I always tell everybody, listen, if I get the information from you and I know exactly what the hell went down, then, I can go ahead and apologize for things. Right. And I can see how everything got taken out of context as well on my behalf, but the way that the whole story was going around. So what was going on that very day, guys, according to Comic Mint, and again, I apologize to him in person, and that's what I enjoy about this too, is like I'm not going to ever sit here and say like, yo, I don't ever fuck up. We all fuck up. But at the same time, here's one of the biggest things. And from the beginning of the conversation, we both got to know each other. We did a little whole background talk, and, I let him know a little bit about myself. He talked to me, about himself and everything. And he literally just said, hey, we did. He was like, this was unexpected. This was literally a last minute thing when it came to that ASM 300 foil. Somebody, he would have mentioned who it was. Somebody came up, was saying, hey, I have a rack load of these. Were you guys interested? So he says, sure. He's like, I'll go ahead and I'll take 100. So when it was all said and done, KRS had reached out to them as well. And the owner Comic Mint said, hey, why don't you allocate 25 of mine? I'll just go ahead and take 75. And send 25 over to KRS. So 25 went over to KRS. KRS did their sales of them. And the whole story behind everything was that everything was showing up late on that day. So they were supposed to have these ASM 300 in their possession that very freaking morning before the doors would open. So what people were seeing and what was getting spread around was like, holy shit, they sold it to this one guy. So now, like I say, I like to grab stories from a lot of people that would attend the net con that day, and everybody's story was the same, to include Comic Mint, the owner. And he pretty much just told me, hey, this is what happened. Literally at around 10, 12 in the morning is when this guy showed up, and he had me scared because I already, put in my money into it, had me a little worried because we were running behind. And everybody that had been waiting in line was wrapped around Comic Mint. They had their home booth. Comic Mint said that they had people waiting. People were leaving the line, and that's the stories I was getting from folks. People were saying, oh, these assholes freaking sold it to that one guy, was the same guy that came to deliver the comic books to them. Everybody started making the assumption that, holy shit, there's nothing left. So everybody was waiting. People were getting impatient, and so on and so forth. So he went ahead and showed me that there was 75 copies that he sold, and there were all the transactions in there for every single one. And of course, I tell him like everything, I was like, I appreciate you showing me all this. But at the same time, I said, hey, you also got to realize that, what about your cash sales? Because we all know that cash sales don't ever show up, on your POS. It's never going to show up on that. People are always going to freaking take that because we all know how cash works. Cash is king. So you really can't determine that. When I mentioned that to him, he actually brought up the fact that the guy that actually sold him these ASM 300s actually was like, hey, I'm really sorry that you had to act, you were paying for 100 and you had to give 25 to these, the KRS Comics. So he said, he's like, how about I do this for you? How about I sell you 100 and we can still give 25 to KRS? So he was transparent as shit. So I give him credit where credit is due. He said,
Amen.
Yeah, so I told him, I was like, no, I appreciate that. And he said that very day, he decided not to sell those 25 extra. And he actually just held on to those 25 and decided to give them out to friends and family or anything free of charge. He wasn't going to charge anybody because he understands how it's going to look. He understands that if he were to bring out all 100 after he said, hey, there's only 75 available, it's going to start looking ugly. His prime thing was that the number one example that he used was, Black Flag and that whole situation, because they were able to fix it. They had the opportunity. They had so many damn, points of error where it was just kind of like, hey, you guys could have done this. You guys could have done that. But you chose opposite. You guys went this route. And he said,
they leaned into it.
Yeah. And so he said that he didn't want to do that. And then, he was talking to me a little bit about the Detective Comic foils, and the we didn't get too much into that because the main subject was this whole Amazing Spider-Man 300 debacle. And then, of course, like I said, people still, I'm still going to tell them, hey, I personally saw, he showed me the POS of all the sales. I let him know, hey, I can't 100% put my trust into this. You're giving me, like a 80 to 90% trust level on it because, again, I'm sure some people paid you in cash. I'm sure people paid you in cash, and not everybody was doing credit card transactions.
And not only that, here's to me the most important thing is he's building trust with the community by doing this, right? Yeah. He's going to a respected member of the community, which you are, and sitting down with that, and he's saying, and you're creating that communication, you're creating that bond, right? Which is very, very important from where a lot of us stand right now, and transparency and all that stuff. Did he get into the exclusive game at all with you? Did he chop it up about the exclusive game?
So we didn't have, man. It was a long talk that we had because we were just trying to get to know each other for our backgrounds. He told me, hey, he's like, I've never heard of you. I didn't, finally I went and checked out your channel. I really love your passion. I could see why you're upset. And it's like I tell everybody on my channel, listen, this isn't just coming from me. This is from a lot of collectors out there. A lot of people are getting frustrated with the whole situation. It's not a whole like hate, jealousy, any type of that shit. It's literally like, come on, guys, open up your fucking eyes. Like, you guys are fucking up the game. And he even reached out to me and told me, hey, I would actually love to talk to you and get your opinion on what you think about these exclusives. So we're going to save that for another time. He actually told me, he's like, I would love to get your feedback because I honestly do believe, he said, I did see it at New York Comic Con. New York Comic Con was inundated with freaking exclusives. And it was just ridiculous how many exclusives. And he says, yes, he's like, I do take ownership too on the fact that we did put out a shit ton of exclusives that day as well. And that stuff, like I tell everybody, man, you know, pick and choose. I'm never gonna try to shame anybody for freaking picking up exclusives if you want them. I get them. I already, you know, I give props to Bird City Comics. They came out with a dope ass fucking thing that they had going on with the, you know, with the Super Mario homages. And then it goes to show you how well they're doing, that other people are going and copying what they're doing. And for me personally, that's fucking, you know, like distasteful, because you're just literally you're taking somebody's shit that's working and you see it's paying off, and then you go ahead and try to make something for yourself.
Well,
and
let's hit that real quick. Let's hit that real quick. We're going to take a quick jump into that Bird City thing, but real quick, I do want to say about the Comic Mint to Steve. I believe it's Steve that you talked to.
Steve, my bad.
And I want to shout out again Steve in the Comic Mint and say props to you for sitting down with Thoro, and I hope you realize, I hope this helps you realize that the transparency is so much better for the game, because we might not be pulling in 20,000 views an episode or 1 million views an episode, but a lot of the community watches our shows, is part of the community. They talk about it with their friends and so on. And a lot of the people that are contacting us that are part of our community are tired of it. They don't trust it anymore. It's starting to become a bad name. And one of the things that's so great about this, just the Comic Mint in general, is that he's creating that bond. He also did the same thing for International Comics. He asked International Comics, hey, you know, what can I do to fix this, you know, about the whole 500 print count thing. And that was very impressive. So I don't want him. I'm glad that you got a chance to sit down and talk to him, because I don't want him nor anybody out there to think that this is a pitchfork type thing. Like it can turn into that. Don't get me wrong. Like you can turn it into that. But this is more about, hey, this is respect. This is about us trying to figure out who we want to spend our money with. More importantly.
Yeah, I told him he got a custom in, you know, out of me, because I just told him, hey, I appreciate you being front forward with everything that's been coming up, you know, and I just let him know that a lot of people will start, because a lot of people are getting pissed off. And I was like, of course people are going to talk, and people are going to start saying stuff, because a lot of people are freaking pissed off with the fact that, like, hey, you guys didn't make this shit available over here. You guys didn't do this. Now, you know, we can go ahead and speculate and say, yeah, you know, he probably might go ahead and sell some of those 25 copies, or he might be truly giving them away. Who the fuck knows? I can never determine that. I mean, but again, respect to him, because he freaking went out, you know, he went out of his way, reached out, and he just told me what it was. And I just said, hey, listen, I appreciate it, and I'm going to share that with everybody out here.
Well, yeah. So I think part of the problem with it was that, like Josh and I had been paying attention for a while, that we knew it was 1,000 count print run, but whenever like KRN Comic Mint started acting, they said, hey, there's only 500 s, like, so we had a problem with it. And it's like, kind of like, well, are you counting the copies that Josh has or whoever else has that had already gotten them from the store in Mexico? And so, like, when this, you know, that's a big, bold statement to put out there, that there's only 500 in the US right now.
No, of course.
It's like, there's no way you can say that, right?
Well, it's not even just that too. You know what I'm saying? Like, the other thing too that people were expressing to me, and a lot of people freaking hit me up on IG, was the fact that you also have, they were like, yo, listen, I'm a native of Mexico. That's what they told me. And they were like, hey, I would not believe in that 1,000 print count, because he was like, yo, my people down there, they'll probably make 10,000 of it. So I was just like listening to what he was saying, and I laughed, and I was like, yo, you might be onto something. So he said, yeah, don't take that shit to heart with the whole print count, because he said it might not be legit at all, and you might end up seeing an exuberant amount of this book, of this actual foil, popping up everywhere. And as soon as it dries up, you'll probably end up seeing a whole new floodgate opening up. And they, you know, a lot of people have told me, I don't know how, you know, if this is actual information, where they said, hey, down in Mexico, they were saying that Marvel really doesn't care.
Right, exactly.
I mean, just go ahead and do whatever the fuck they want.
I mean, we could bring back up the big.
You got a
booty
problem, Marvel?
well, the big booty Gwen cover, that had a cease and disorder or whatever. That they couldn't put out that book anymore, and then that book was definitely leaking out to all kinds of different people. And so, who knows what the actual print count of that is? I mean, there's estimates, but is that number true? I don't know. No one knows. I mean, it's not even now. It's no longer an official La Mole convention exclusive either. So,
Yeah.
Well, one of the things that you brought up earlier that you talked about was the whole biting people's designs and ideas, and a lot of it, I don't necessarily know if it's quote unquote biting designs or stuff. Of course, you guys, a lot of us have heard that story about the Fuck It Fairyland variant that's coming out, that has the art germ thing with the Stan Yak book that kind of blew up, and one guy kind of thought he was kind of stealing from his ideas. I think that happens a lot where artists kind of think on the same level, but with the exclusive variant game, it's so close, and the ideas just become, I think once one person sees somebody do something, they're like, oh, I got to do the same thing. And it's sad because if you come up with an idea, and you brought up Bird City, and a perfect example of that is Bird City put out that 8 billion genies that was so damn good. They decided to follow it up with a they had a great idea. They homaged the Super Mario 3 variant. It looked great. They decided, okay, hey, we're gonna try and double it up, and they put out this. There's a new variant coming out that I think they talked about last night on Drunken Chat. This is, as you guys can see it. This is the cover, and on the same day, basically, which is very interesting. Just I don't know what to say, but the same day you see this pop up on Whatnot Publishing's page. Okay, so now
some bullshit, dude.
You know what I mean? What do you think? Do you and here's the biggest problem, because 100%, you guys, 100%, I for a fact know that there are publishers or retailers out there that will hear ideas and either nix ideas and steal that idea, or just outright steal it. They don't care if somebody else is doing the same thing. I know for 100% that multiple times and multiple variants, the situation's been like, even they've even contacted each other. Hey, I'm doing a variant. It's the same exact book and the same exact homage idea that you're doing. Is there any way you know what I mean? They let each other know, and sometimes even these retailers, and they don't have the respect for each other to figure out a way to say, all right, maybe I'll change mine up a little bit, or how far are you along in the process? I'm this far along. If you're farther along, maybe I can change it up if I'm not as far along as you are. I don't feel like there's any of that going on, because we don't have a true community. There's not a true community here for this to happen. It's all about money right now. It's a quick come up with these exclusives that even if Bird City contacted Whatnot Publishing, and this is just my opinion, and said, hey, I have that same variant coming out, Whatnot Publishing is going to be like, sorry, bro, sorry.
Well, to me, that's not a really big deal, because that cover sucks. You know what I mean? I wouldn't buy that cover. I mean, guy looks like he has a dick on his nose. I mean, for his nose, bro. So.
Well, I mean, which one would you rather have? An open to order book, or this 8 billion genies that's limited to whatever Ant said to that, right?
Right.
I don't care if it's open order or not. What I care about is the biting of the ideas, the disrespect that it shows, even if it's not disrespectful, right? Even if it was just a happenstance, which does happen. Don't get me wrong, that shit happens just as much as the opposite. But at some point, there's got to be And we all, a lot of these retailers talk to each other. Don't get it twisted. A lot of these guys talk to each other. There's some that don't, but a lot of them are in group chats together. They're teaming up on exclusives, all kinds of stuff like that. So they know the type of stuff that's going on. So the question is how tight is our one? Do we have a community, an actual community, or do people just say it's a community? When I say community, what I mean by it is the community that I have, right? The friends in the content creation sphere, the people who come on the show, the people that watch all of our shows, right? We share a lot of viewers. We share a lot of friends. The artists that we talk about, that's what I mean when I say community. Now, when we talk about the comic community, there's no real comic community. I just don't feel there is, because this shit wouldn't be happening if there was.
Well, it's probably like what you said before, like, how there's several different tent poles that like people like put themselves under, and it's like it seems like now it just keeps on, like, the line keeps on getting drawn bigger and bigger, or the wall keeps on get building up higher and higher, that it's hard to like cross over into all these different tent poles now. And so, which, that just divides people more often. And so it just becomes like, I guess almost like a storm, right? Like where no one can discuss ideas anymore without,
because they'll get stolen, Aaron. Me and Thorough were on the show, and like Key Collector like literally stole like a comic spec that Thorough had come up with on the Avengers book, and then like 7 hours later it's on his daily update, and I mean, like, and we know that Key Collector has been doing that for a long time, dude. So like, I mean, you got a guy with an app that's doing it, you've got retailers that are doing it, you even have content creators that are talking about the same stuff. Like, our show will air an hour later, another show will be doing the same shit we were talking about, or a day later. It's like, talk about your own, like, come up with your own ideas, man. You
need to stop using the word community, because you know what it is, like wrestling, it's clicks.
Yeah,
that's what it is. Because so I went to NYCC like two weeks ago or whatever it was, and so I've never met Nemesis Prime. Met him out at the bar, had a beer, gave me badges for Thursday and Friday. Like, that's, if you want to talk about community, because he's like, hey, how are you going to go to the show? I'm like, well, if I make it, I'll just buy some badges. He goes, well, here, I've got extra. That's community.
Yeah.
When Aaron and I first met, he was like, hey, Sean's going to be here. Me and Leg are going to go out. I know you're in comics. You and Brian have kind of been talking. That's community. All this other shit, it's just bullshit.
Clicks. I like the way you put it.
It's like high school. I mean,
yeah.
If you want to run out here with these fucking guys, go at it. But if you want to be with people that actually quality, I'll take them all day long.
That's a great point, Nate. Great point.
That was a fun birthday for Big Lake too.
Nah, but that's always something, man. Y'all people don't know. If y'all know me for quite some time, and for people that have followed me for some time, man, I said that shit a while back ago. I caught so much fucking heat for that. You guys have no idea. I know Red Hood knows. I caught a shit ton of heat for saying that there is no fucking community. And people went off on me. People were messaging me on Instagram. Everybody's like, what do you mean there's no community? What are we doing for you? What are that? And I'm like, yo, I understand that. But at the same time, it's like, man, this shit, I was like, there really isn't. And Nate couldn't have said it better, man. It's just clicks. Click after click after click, and you don't have nobody else. Like, I'll tell you guys right now, this is why I speak about Brian all the time. And I tell people, I know some people go off and they'll be like, yo, yeah, but Brian sometimes is a passive. I'm like, yo, that's his nature. That's him. I wish I could be like that. You know what I'm saying? And I tell people, I'm like, you got to respect the fact, like, when he does an interview, he's not going to go full savage mode like I will, because I don't fucking hold back from shit. That's my nature. That's my nature. His is like, hey, I want to try to keep that person on me. I'll probably send somebody running the fuck off to be like, I'm never fucking coming back. And that's not good.
Yeah,
That's
but
not
that's
good.
what makes, to be honest, that is what's good. We can't all be the same. We need to have different
Nah.
types of ways we go about things, and you know, as long as there is a respect level there for the people that, you know, you should be respecting, then it's all gravy, you know. And
Of course.
when we find the bad actors out there, there's a fine line also about calling out a bad actor, right? And then not having the right information to call them out on. So I think it's very important for us to say, hey, you know, like, I don't know this person, but what is going on doesn't look good, right? Because this dude, Steve at Comic Mint, before all this, you know, we could have been dogging him. We could have been saying, oh, what a piece of shit this guy is. But we said, basically, hey, this doesn't look good. Talk to us. And he was willing to talk to people, right? So
Exactly.
that's always been the important thing. Now, Joe is right, 100% every day. But that being said,
I'm jealous.
you can't get on my bad side. You can't get on my bad side. That's for damn sure. So I'm really excited to see where everything lands over the next couple months to a year, because, man, there's a lot of people out there that are kind of getting worried right now that things are taking a downturn. And you know, I don't necessarily, you know, think it's a fall rather than it's just being a correction. But when it comes to the exclusive game, man, I think people are realizing that it's not as important collectible wise than they thought it was before.
I you know, one thing, and I told Thorough, like, if these Disney Plus shows from the jump were hits, and characters were introduced in there, and they were hot, and it was must see TV all the time, and there was no issues with plot, and just there was no disappointment. Think about it, like, there would still be some heat in the comics, you know, because
where you see the uptick in the prices
absolutely right. They've like systematically like diminished spec by releasing shit shows, right? Like some of the, and you want to like them, right? Because it's like, oh man, you know, like let's see what. And, you know, I was hoping for Kamala Khan to be a hit, and I was hoping for like the Hawkeye show to be a hit, and I was hoping for the WandaVision to be a hit, but like, you don't know what the hell they're doing. Like, it's like, bro, like,
well,
you know, coming off of
you water dip with Coke all day long and give them Diet Right, expect it to be just as good.
Yeah, you know, and I get it, but if the show's not ready to be like released, don't release it. You know what I mean? Like, Wakanda Forever better be great. You know what I mean? Like,
I would say that actually looks like
it better be great.
It looks great. I hope it's great.
It better be great, because then we're going to be in trouble, because then it's going to make you say, well,
hey, Joe,
man, they can't even get that right.
She-Hulk? I mean, how many of us actually read She-Hulk and actually ever gave two shits about She-Hulk?
Right, but those shows,
cares.
you would hope, if they're gonna like,
she's a character that is
right.
Maybe she's like me at school. She's a C+ student at best.
Right, but when you think about it too, Nate, like, nobody really like read Iron Man, right? Before the Iron Man movie came out.
Yeah, there's truth.
Right? I mean, like, not to where, hold on, don't nobody get offended. Okay. That fair. Wasn't like a top selling comic, right? It wasn't a top selling comic. I mean, it was like B characters, right? Because that's all Marvel had. That, you know, he said, well, we got to go with the B team, and they made it work.
Yeah.
Until they got the Spider-Man, until they got the A-listers, right? But but you would hope like She-Hulk, if they're going to introduce a Scar or introduce like you would hope it'd be like, oh man, like and that would draw you to other books. And
let me ask something
it's
here.
like,
Here's a question, and this is a inward self-reflection question that I think that we need to start asking, because this is a great comment by Jesse. Shout out Jesse James Comics. Jesse says there's a great comic book community for those who are deep into the industry. However, it's very small group, and most of us just focus on selling books and not all the bell and whistle stuff out there. Is the speculation community toxic?
Yeah, obviously. I mean,
toxic is a strong word. Maybe.
Well, no. I mean, it seems fine and great when you first join, you know what I mean? But then, like, as you peel more layers of the onion, you see how toxic the group actually is within it.
You know, if there's an agenda, then it becomes toxic. Like, if you're truly, like, reading the books and you've discovered things that you want to share with the community, that this has potential to be something, and you really want to show people, hey, there's some meat on the bone here, like, and you just want to spread the cornbread, right? Like that's what I like doing, like discovering things. Hey, look what this could be something, right? Versus other people that already have a rack of the books and say, hey, this is going to be something, and it truly isn't anything. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I feel like right now the comic community is like the way it is with speculation. They're Mormons trying to sell Wi-Fi to the Amish. I mean,
that's a good analogy.
About anything like actually, like what's going on. It's just about I can make $2 on this guy and $3 on this guy. That's it.
No, but yo, like here's some things, man, and I'll say it right the fuck now. What ruined freaking speculation wasn't just the fact; it was also the people that everybody admires.
The gatekeepers.
I've talked about this time and time again, man. This is what made me start my channel. This is what made me stop listening to these freaking, like I always say, bozos. Because every fucking time I was getting something, I'm like, why the fuck did I buy this book for $50? And this book was straight up trash. And I was listening to somebody that wears glasses, and I was just like, fuck my life. So then I was like, okay.
That's me.
Oh man,
yeah.
You listen to my show?
Oh, Yeezy's fault, man. But that's my thing. And then now it's become like it's become more of a selling freaking point versus actually being something that's worth the freaking value. There's some like for me, a lot of people are like, dude, you're like a fucking encyclopedia. Why? Because I actually sit there and read a ton of shit. Right now, I'm not reading too much because fucking everything literally coming out of Marvel and DC freaking sucks. So I'm like, yeah, it's so bad. And I think that's also freaking ruining the fact that on a consistent basis, the other thing that ruined it for me too was, I'm not gonna lie, Key Collector. Is it a great fucking app, a great tool? Yes. But at the same time, how the fuck can you possibly have a freaking first appearance every single goddamn week? Every single week. And not think nothing of that. Like, that's not going to impact comic books, period. And then there's people that absolutely don't know nothing. I'll show something to people. I had no idea that story was in there. I'm like, yeah, because sometimes, you do have to open up the book. And it's great to listen to these stories. But I get it. No, not everybody. And I don't, and this isn't freaking trying to throw any shame towards anybody that doesn't read. It's just a fact. Collect how the fuck you want, man. That's my message to everybody in the end. But when you got these fucking gatekeepers, great fucking word, I might have to start using that.
Yeah.
When you had a gatekeepers freaking telling people and trying to sell on somebody, and I've used this, and I'm sure people realize this, and I've always said this, if I was one of those gatekeepers and I found the first time fucking Hulk took a radioactive shit in the woods, they will turn that into something when it's fucking meaningless. And now what a lot of people would say, man, I wouldn't mind seeing what a radioactive shit looks like. So I'd definitely be trying to go and pick up that book.
I think that people, a lot of comic book, the influx in the comic book speculators, or the influx in the comic book collectors for flipping or for value, a lot. There's such an influx of those people that aren't reading. They could care less about a book. And don't get me wrong, I'm that way on a lot of books that I own. You know, there's certain books where I buy just for cover. I love cover buys, you know, but there's also a big problem where we don't value certain comics because they're not first appearances, right? We don't value origin stories as much anymore. We don't value great storylines or great moments in comics. Like most people don't even know that moment in the sewers with Wolverine, where that's where Logan becomes Wolverine, right? They don't know that moment. They don't know. Whenever I talk to Jesse James, Jesse James Comics, he's always like, most people don't even know that the first story in, you know, Amazing Fantasy 15 has nothing to do with anything. You know, like people don't read their books. They don't care about that stuff. But I think that if they did read, if they knew how great those stories were, if they knew how great some of those moments were, right? Some of those, you know, Stein was talking about last night. You know, the magic first appearance in her four-part story. A lot of people don't know about that storyline. It's such a great storyline. A lot of people, you know, perfect example. Go read Uncanny X-Force. Go read Rick Remender's Uncanny X-Force run. That Uncanny X-Force run should be, you know, worth much more than it is because of how great the run is. You know, and that just doesn't happen anymore. You know, perfect example is back in the day, one of the comics that every real comic collector had to own was Daredevil 158. Most people that are into comics, that got into comic collecting the past 5 years, don't even know what Daredevil 158 means anymore. You know?
It's very true, bro. I mean, you nailed it right there, dude. A lot of people don't know what certain things are happening in books. A lot of people don't know what the hell's going on. Prime fucking example. Action Comics 719. Do you guys know what that is?
No, I'd have to see the cover.
All right. So if you get a chance, Brian, just
I'll pull it up.
Pull it up. Yeah, Action Comics 719. All right. So for everybody out there that doesn't read, don't ever be ashamed. I say, remember back in the days, this was several years ago.
This.
Everybody was picking up fucking covers, right? Everybody, that's what collecting was. You used to hear all the folks on freaking YouTube before I started. They were all like, yo, just found this one. This is badass. So for everybody that always keeps thinking that the very moment that freaking that Superman went bad was in Injustice, no. This literally beats that shit through the fucking wall. Why? Because this very issue right here is where you see the Joker poison Lois Lane, literally not in, you know, putting her to sleep, sort of, and fucking Superman starts losing his shit. By far, one of the greatest fucking stories you could ever read, and not a damn soul. I guarantee you, everybody and their mother skips over this fucking book. And by far, one of the best damn stories they could have put together in an action comic series was this. And hence why you got Batman on there holding the freaking Joker card, everything. That's what happens in this book. You literally have Superman on the brink of freaking losing his shit. Happens here before it happens in Injustice. Yeah. So that's what makes this book fucking special.
Probably because the people who were coming up with the Injustice storyline were comic book fans and read this book.
Yeah.
You know? Yep. Same with those prototype issues, you know, a lot of those old school prototype issues, you know, where this was them trying to, you know, do Spider-Man before Spider-Man, or, you know, Kirby and his trying to do Superman before Superman, all that stuff. It's very interesting. Very interesting.
We went down the rabbit hole the other night, and we were looking at, hey, you don't have to buy these exclusives, these reprints. There's several reprints out there of great comic books. You know, we were talking about like the reprint of 181 and 182
from the publishers,
right? And then we also, like, because, you know, I thought that that reprint from 1982 was the first reprint of AF-15, but, you know, we went down the rabbit hole and thorough found what was the comic, the annual #1.
Marvel Age Annual #1, the first reprint ever for Amazing Fantasy 15. And I was like, yo, go and look at the prices for that book. That book is fucking so low and affordable. It's fucking
pull that
insane.
one up, Brian.
Which one is it? Marvel Age Annual 1?
Yeah. And that has every story in there too. Hulk, Iron Man. The only one that they don't show on the cover, they also had the first appearance of freaking Ant-Man inside of that book. And a beautiful fucking book too, man. I was like looking through it. I read through it. I was like, yo, this is badass.
Is this it?
And then Reef, the Sea Forever. If it does show up on Key Collector, make sure to use the code. No, I'm joking.
Is this
No. What is it? Marvel.
It should be. Hold on, because it should be from the first. The very first. That one came out in 1964, I think it was, or some shit like that. The Marvel Age annual #1.
Was it Marvel Age or Marvel Tales?
Marvel Tales. Yeah, Marvel Tales. My
Tales.
apologies.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, because Marvel Age is a amazing.
Oh, hell yeah! Just look at that cover.
Treasure trove of great stuff. Yeah, Marvel Tales #1. Great book right here. Let me bring this up.
Nobody talks about that book.
No.
The funny part is, I think that we went through COVID, and I was actually talking to Justin during NYCC. I was like, it's weird that 2020, because we actually have that break for books. We were talking about Turtles. I was like, 2020 was the best year. If you ever read Turtles, the art was spot on because Sophia Campbell was doing it, and her story, it was spot on. And then you had the run from like House of X. Like, now I may be biased because I really like X-Men. I want X-Men to do well, but I loved how it went from 19 to 20, and when it came back in, I thought the X-Men story was doing really well. Zdarsky with Daredevil, and I started reading that because listening to Simple Man, and he was spot on. Like, it was just such a great storyline, by far the best Daredevil I've ever read. And I was like, and Venom with Stegman and Kate, I was like, man, everything's going so well and it's going so strong. And then I still have, of course, G.I. Joe with Larry Hama still doing the same thing with he did in goddamn issue 9 with the brainwave scanner. He's doing 300 with Snake Eyes, but still, but I was like, man, things are going really well. If you read the stories, it was really, it's quality stuff. And it's just, I don't know where it all just kind of dissipated, but it feels like Marvel never understanding how big Spider-Man is and putting Ryan Spencer on there, and then letting that with Kindred, the whole storyline for like how many goddamn issues we had to go through 80 issues with that shit, and then now going to JRJR.
Right.
If you took Ramita out and put Red Hood, John Red Hood Jr., I don't think he would have made Spider-Man cut. I don't think he'd be drawing it. It's just, I don't know. I don't quite understand what's going on.
It's everything happened at one time. The Disney Plus shows weren't what they were supposed to be, and then these comics, the writers left to go do that digital thing, right?
Yeah.
Everybody kind of just
concentrated.
Right.
Gets their own money. Yep.
Right. So like the heat on the books was gone, and the TV show heat, like the Disney Plus and the movies, weren't what we were accustomed to. So the energy, kind of like the air came out of the bubble, is what happened.
Joe, like,
because we're in an inflation.
When you said, "Hey, what's the idea?" Like, actually, what would happen if we actually got a great writer and a great artist and actually came up with a great idea?
Right.
Holy shit, we'd have actually a good comic book.
Absolutely, but it's like everybody's got, and I'm not gonna like go make your money or whatever, but like it's and then Quesada leaving Marvel, that was huge. Like, that ought to tell you what was going on. Why, maybe he had a better offer or something, but he was the guy holding that together. And it's much like if Feige left the MCU, it's like he was holding for what he could, Marvel Comics together, and he did have some kind of continuity, but like, man, the writing, dude, like, think about it. If Donny Cates would have gone to Amazing Spider-Man, like, what would be happening? He would, because when he wrote books, he made you go dig for other books. And that's what you want. You want to go on these little treasure hunts and say, and it just, now it's not fun. It's like, because nobody's writing anything that has anything of consequence or meaning, or making you go back and look for this other book. It's just story after story, blah 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 blah. It doesn't mean anything, and everybody's trying to be PC, and
but there's so many stories nowadays where you have to read like 20 different titles just to get a full story. I mean, like look what happened like after House and Powers of X, right? You had to read like 6 different titles just to get the full storyline, and you had to read it in that order where it's like you had to read X-Men, then you had to read Marauders, then you had to read like I don't remember all the other titles that were going on in that, but there was like 6 different X-Men titles just to get the full understanding of what Hickman was trying to do. Like, and they even came out with graphic novels afterwards where it was like all those books in that sequential order, in the reading order, right? I mean, that's obviously just like what a cash grab to like, hey, try out these other titles, blah blah blah. Which is nothing wrong with that to an extent, but if you're trying to like get a full story, like that doesn't build good storytelling. That's just selling titles.
Well, let me ask you guys something, because I think this is another interesting question. Do you guys think that we don't talk about the history of comics enough? That we don't talk about those OG storylines, those OG creators? Because I feel like that's one of the reasons that we don't have the importance on origin stories or great storylines. People they want to get the first appearance of that character because they want to have their first appearance of their favorite character in the movie.
It's the rookie card. They want they get into sports card syndrome. They go, I got to get Miles Morales' rookie. I got to get Kamala Khan's rookie, that's the first appearance. It's first card, I mean, it's the same sports card mentality brought into comic books, I mean, that's kind of like what we're doing.
Jesse has a picture in his comic store at the checkout. And matter of fact, here's the picture. And he told me that more people,
great shot.
He says more people ask him if that is his grandfather rather than knowing who it is.
Shit, they look alike, man. Jesse, you look like Kirby, bro.
Yeah, for real.
We knew we were in on something. We knew he had the end.
So like
such a great picture.
But that's a perfect example of like people don't know who Jack Kirby is.
Yeah.
Again, it's just.
But that's almost like a crime.
Again, people. It depends.
It's like
people want to make money. They want to do whatnot. They want to like flip books. It's different. Do you want to read the stories? Do you want to understand what's going on? Brian, you said earlier, are you part of a community or are you not? If you want to like flip and spec, then you're part of the card community. You're part of the shoe community. That's fine if that's what you want to do. If you just want to like flip money or try to make money, do it if you can. But if you actually appreciate it, just like action figures or anything else, like stuff we grew up on, there's nostalgia to it. It's how we grew up. Like it's how like I brought my book over and traded to you and gave it to you and like, hey, read this. And it wasn't about like, hey, don't fuck it up. Just give me Spy Hunter on Atari and we're good.
Yeah.
I mean, there's an innocence to it. And so the more you make of trying to make it more monetized, it's just it ruins that part. And like I think Hasbro, I think it's a perfect evidence of it. Like they actually supported earnings and they weren't very good. Well, when you go up from like $18 to $25, you take the plastic out. People don't want to look at your box shit. I mean, it's not the same experience. I mean, like Boba Fett, the 3 3/4 inch figure, the new one at Target. If you go, it's listed at $20.88 at every Target. $20.88.
Wow.
The regular figures are $13.99, but Boba Fett's $20.88. I mean, it's just cash and grab.
Yeah, that's really all it is now, man. Because I'm a big toy collector. I got myself out of sneakers. I started to see, you know what I mean, like comic books started going down that sneaker direction where it was like it's all about the hype beast. And the hype beast so freaking, hype up the ugliest fucking sneakers, and you'll see those things sell for $1,000+ easily. And I'm there like, you got to be shitting me.
Right, because they put an influencer on it, man. Right,
and that's who people look up to, because what is it? Everybody, you go on somebody's YouTube channel, what do you see? You see them putting up, designing their stuff, putting up their freaking, their Instagram. They put up comics behind the wall, doing all these things. So people are always gonna assume and say, hey, that person must be super educated in comic books. But when you hear them talk, like I've seen people who write books about fucking comic books, and then it's like every show that I've seen them, they fucking don't know jack shit of it. And I'm like, how the fuck do you come out and write a book about freaking comic books, but you don't know jack shit about it? And that's my thing. I was like, I'll call it as it is. I'm not gonna sit here, and this is why I said I've been through that. I watched the Comic Times, I watched the fucking Gem Mints, I respected the motherfuckers back then. And then what happened? You started seeing them contradicting and going against their word. And for me, once you do that, it's a wrap. I don't fuck with that. When you start talking about how much you hate CGC and this, that, and the third, and now you're like the fucking face of CGC, then not even just that, you started talking about variants. Y'all remember when he used to talk about variants and you say how he hated variants? What is he doing now?
Makes
and that's
his
what
own.
I'm talking about. And then that's my biggest thing. It's like, in the end, I tell people, you guys go. I'm never gonna freaking discourage you from fucking going to whoever and freaking learn. You're gonna pick and choose. The very moment that people turn away from somebody and they turn their freaking back to them is the moment that you fucking burn them. And that's literally what the hell happened with me. And that's the same thing that's gonna happen to every new collector out there. They're gonna be like, yo, this guy fucking said this, that, and the third. And I just spent $100 on this book, and this book is worth fucking $2 now, 6 months later. And now you're starting to see, and that's how people are feeling, because I have people who I knew who started getting into collecting. They got burned, and then they were like, I'm not fucking with that shit. I was like, this shit's fucking a piece of garbage. They're selling me trash.
I feel like that's happening big time right now, especially, unfortunately, with exclusive retailer exclusives. I really think that's the case. I think a lot of these guys are looking at the retailer exclusive, that the stack of retailer exclusives that they own, that they bought, thinking that, they were limited, first of all, right? They're told, oh, this is limited, this is going to sell out. They think it's even more limited because they think sellouts have something to do with, how limited the books are. They've got this idea, and I get it. People in the chat, people are watching and say, well, that's their fault. Maybe they should have done more research. We can't look at it that way, man. We can't, because there's so many people coming into this hobby where we should be protecting those people. We should be planting a seed with those people, right? We should be watering that seed. We can't.
Hey, Brian,
we can't.
Can I say one thing? Like, we talk about the comic community, but I think if you actually took the five of us real quickly. So Brian said, like, he's one of the top 10 one night. He's like the Ghostbusters Slimer cover. I'd love to have that. Now, being the lazy piece of shit I am, I had it. I still have it. And I'm going to send it to him. But he's also the same guy who sent me Daryl Strawberry Rat Pack because he knows I love the Mets.
Yeah, I got a problem with that.
Yeah. Hey, I got something for you.
Because Joe wants it too.
But Yee was over at my house earlier this week. Yee's a guy who knows I love G.I. Joe and I love Snake Eyes. He brings over an IDW exclusive from Snake Eyes he ordered off the website. It climbed the price. He didn't want anything for it. You just know I look at it. And so, like, Joe, like, I know he loves the Mets. I try to send him a few things here. I mean, if you want to talk about community, that's it. And it's, it's community, it's brotherhood, it's friendship. And that's the most important part. And third, if you take that Yankees hat off, you might actually be part of it.
No, when I first met Thorough, I sent him like an AOK, like a big old rack. And I said, I'm gonna make you cry, I'm gonna make you tear up. And he goes, nah, you ain't gonna do that. And he was like,
oh yeah, bro. And it was books. It was books that fucking nobody ever has seen, and people were like, "What the fuck is that?" I showed it off, and people were like, "What the hell book is that? What book is that? I've never seen it. I've never seen." And that's what I said. That's something that's, in all honesty, is missing. Why? Because you have the encouragement and the influence from the gatekeepers, and those folks are literally trying to tell you, "Hey, buy this, buy this, buy that." But at the same time, they'll try to put, and say, "Hey, we're not telling you what to buy," but it's like you're influencing people's fucking hands and where they need to go to. You influence the direction regardless. I was like, it's not like you're telling them. Like, for me, people say, oh yeah, you're an influencer too, but I was like, check this out. I can go ahead and spit fucking golden age. I can go ahead and spit silver age, bronze age, all that shit at everybody all day fucking long. Why? Because it's easy. That was the beginning of the fucking whole thing. Now, if I'm going over here and I'm saying, hey guys, people laughed at me when I was talking about the Illuminati. This was years ago. The receipts are there, my videos are there, and people were like, why the fuck would you spec on the Illuminati? What the fuck? Yo, the Illuminati is sitting in the background the whole fucking time. Then they end up demolishing it by putting it in Doctor Strange, which was a trash ass movie. And next thing you know, I told people, don't worry, hold on to your damn Illuminati stuff, because Illuminati's still there. The Illuminati's behind the scenes. They're the ones that are freaking trying to put a plot together as far as, hey, this is going on. We need to resolve this issue. So if you guys think the Illuminati is gone, fuck no. That shit is still there. And sure as hell, they came out, bought an alternate universe version, and everybody was like, bro, you spoke about that shit years ago. And now I'm regretting not buying that shit for $2. And this is what I say. When I speculate, I go after books that are fucking not worth $1, $2, $5. So when you guys invest in it, people can go ahead and say, fuck it, this shit went to $1. Got boxes of that shit. And now guess what? I lost maybe $1, $2. I'm good with that. I'm not gonna cry. Versus like when I got duped and I'm there buying a $50 fucking book, and all of a sudden they were promoting and saying, hey, there's gonna be growth, there's gonna be an increase. And next thing you know, I'm like, where the fuck is an increase? This shit is $1 from $50. I'm like, come on. So after that, that's why I'm here now. That's why I'm here now.
Also the option spec, right? This book got option. It's option, right? How many of those independents like are people sitting on, waiting for a movie to drop or a TV show to drop, hoping that it's the next Walking Dead or Invincible? What blows my mind is like The Boys. That show's a hit, and those books aren't doing what the show's doing. That's like the weirdest shit, out of this whole thing. It's like, why is that book not worth like Walking Dead money?
Yes.
Well, indies are good for what
it goes up. It may not be what it is anymore. You can still be spec and be up like 10-15%. Like the shit things we're doing, I mean, they were so high, and people were just it couldn't last. So if you're expecting just to buy a book and because, hey, this is getting launched or get an option 6 months, the trailer, yeah, then there may be some runway, but it's not. I'd be surprised if it's going to be like what you've seen in the past. So I think
if the movies from Marvel like get back to where they were, then people will be more confident in buying these books. But if they just continues to be like woke stuff and just like crap, and just like where are they going with this? It's like it people lose confidence in it, and then they don't buy it. No wonder they're like deviating and going into exclusives, because there's no good writing or anything. Like you basically forced a comic book collector to go and buy like a foil acetate, transparent, like stuff, Can
I tell you, I felt bad for buying exclusive. So I bought one book in NYCC. The only thing I bought, because the guy who was nice enough to give me 2 badges, I know he likes Spider-Gwen. So I was like, okay, I'll give Justin. And I was like, okay. And I saw an exclusive from shit, man. They all run together because like there's so many goddamn exclusives, just like the Country Club exclusives.
Mm-hmm.
But I saw one that was mirrored after the variant of number 2, or the Run 25 for.
The Greg Land.
I was like, well, yeah.
Right?
I was like, yeah. I was like, I know like Spider-Gwen, so I was like, I'll get one of these and just send him a thank you note for giving him that. And I don't think I've ever felt so bad for buying an exclusive. I was like, God, that was the worst piece of shit book I could send somebody. It's like, because it doesn't mean anything. It's just garbage. I was like, yeah. Like if I would have, I felt like if I had more heart or more like, really, really appreciate it. I was like, well, I'd find him like a Miles.
I would feel better. Like I would feel better if like I bought an exclusive, but it was also a key book, like Inside the Guts. Like it was something important that happened, and then I wouldn't have as much of a problem if it's just a random See, that's the thing. The reprint. That's what drives me nuts. Do it on a fresh book, like with a brand
It's a
new
money
story.
thing, though. That's what
Yeah,
made.
I
That's
get
what
it.
told me it was a money thing. Is that it was just any reason to get to call it an exclusive or a variant, to get a fresh new cover on there. I thought it was cool. I thought it was a smart idea to do like if you're doing like anniversaries. Like I liked how Skybound did their Invincible anniversary stuff. If it's an anniversary issue and you want to do that thing for big moments, big key things like that, I'm cool with that. But not just to put one out to throw a cover on it. The Death of Superman stuff that Big Time Collectibles put out. Beautiful books. They're selling for a shit ton. You could have got in, for 150, and they're selling for 1,500 now, and that's great for everybody that bought them. But was there a real reason to put those out other than just to say, hey, shiny, here, buy this book?
This is the best time to be colorblind because you can't tell. Because everybody keeps putting out different colors, and I have no fucking idea. And I'm like, why are people buying this? I don't get it. And then I'm like, oh, it's brown and gold and blue and white. I'm like, okay.
Now you can
Sure.
see people's true colors when they go onto Whatnot or a selling platform. If they're selling junk, then you know what they're about. If they're selling people quality books, key books, and they're very transparent, hey, there's one little tick here. I put this at a 9.4. But you see other sellers on there that are just like blatantly like trying not to sell keys.
This is where I think Brian has the end. The comic book shopping network with him and Jesse, and he was talking about like all the stuff Jesse has. Like there's such a it's completely different than Whatnot. And he was talking about before, and I'm sorry because I'm trying to catch up. But I was watching shows and you were talking about I can just grab some stuff, and you showed us like Jesse has so much stuff, and just who knows what you're going to sell. That's a better show. Like, and that's a real collector show.
I always thought that to me, the key of these live selling platforms was the content, right? Of course, you want to sell things and make money, but to me, it was always about making about the content and creating content with it, right? And being able to go into Jesse's shop or any shop for that matter and say, okay, you guys walk around with me. Let's pick out 10 items from each area, and these are the items I'm going to sell on my show tonight. But as I'm picking out these items, I'm going to tell you why I'm picking them, or if I don't know what the item is, let's look it up together and find out what it is and find out it's something cool. That's part of the content, right? Doing the foreign weekends, the foreign comic weekends, that we do. It's the content of hanging out, but during the shows, talking to Yi, talking to Rob Fordham, talking to Josh, while other people are putting up foreign comics, right? We're talking, oh, why is that book so important? Tell me about that.
Right.
Or, that book, I got that book from this guy, which also got me this book. It creates like this information thing, which is, to me, always been the key. And we're getting closer and closer to being able to do that. We can already do it, but it's being perfected. You know what I mean? And that's great. To me, that's great. But the whole thing is, and again, just to wrap it up in a tiny bow, the transparency is the key, right? Let us be able to say, hey, this is what we like, this is what we don't like, as a community or as a buyer, and say that with how we spend our money, but also be able to say to whoever it is, i.e. in this perfect case, it was the Comic Mint, and we reached out to the Comic Mint, sat down and talked to the guy, everything felt like it was on the up and up. That feels good to me. That is what a community is.
It was funny actually when I bought the exclusive, their shit was all down. They can only take cash. And I was like, at NYCC, I'm like, seriously, no one on your phone has PayPal, Venmo, and I was like, kind of seems odd. I'm like, you got A, B, C, Y through X, and people are just, and they had the Detective Comics foil marked out with their blue tape. And I'm like, and no one here. I was like, because I got secure to my phone. I'm like, someone over here can take, and like, no, we don't take cash. I'm like, okay. I was like, I just need
you know,
one.
if these, if I was going to say, if these stores didn't have like when they go to cons and they have their if they didn't have any exclusives and they straight up had to sell books, like I think it would be really hard for them to make money. Like I have books, Brian has books, Duro has books, Yi has books. Like you know, if we were to go to a con and just take up straight up books, like they would have a problem outselling us. You know what I'm saying? So that's the only thing that they have leverage over is just making. I'll make a book. Fuck it. You know, I'll make a new book. You know, like if I ain't got the book, I'll make one. You know.
One thing I want to do real quick is I do want to talk good about a couple of really cool exclusives. That one, they're friends. Obviously, we rep Bird City to the end of days here. I've broken bread with them. I love Merkham's, and I love his saying, break bread or play dead. You know what I mean? It means something when you sit down and you have food, you eat food with somebody and you break bread over a table together. You know, that means something. Sitting down with each other and talking, that means something to me. And I've done that with Anthony and Laura on multiple occasions. I've been in their house. I've had both Anthony and Laura make dinner for me at their house. You know what I mean? I respect these people. So I want to give a shout out to them for this gorgeous variant here that they're doing for I Hate Fairyland. And I love it even more because of the mushrooms. So, yeah. Right? Isn't that gorgeous? Isn't that beautiful, dude? So I told them to save me one for sure. But make sure you guys go check it out. I don't know if it's available to buy yet, but Bird City Comics. I also want to give a quick shout out to another big friend of the channel and a good community member that has a killer book out soon. He just announced it, and that is Steve Horn at My Bargain Comics.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah,
this is great. Yeah, Dave Stevens. Yeah, little love on Dave Stevens, John Royal.
Hey, John Royal, my guy.
Yeah. So make sure you guys check that out. That's My Bargain Comics, and just beautiful, beautiful stuff. A full moon cover, John Royal. Now, I know everybody gives me shit where I talk shit about homages, but then I say I love books like this, which is an homage. You guys,
if it's done right, you know,
if it's done right,
John Royal, baby.
And, well, not only that, homages.
He's great.
Yeah, homages are. Well, they're coming. They're here to stay, and there's more of them coming. And I don't know if you guys saw this, but Marvel, if you remember, they did their homage month last January, I believe it was, and they did it in 21 and 22. Now they're going to be doing it for January of 2023.
Jesus Christ, can't wait.
Let's take a look at some of these here.
Immortal X-Men. I'm not excited for.
Immortal X-Men number 10, a variant cover by Linnell Francis Yu. What is this homaging? It's not
Transformers 5.
Is it Transformers 5? What is it?
There's no way they fucking ever do that.
They're homaging a book that hasn't come out yet.
Is that a house? Is that a House or Powers book?
That's what it looks like, bro. It looks like something from freaking Pox or Ox, one or the other.
Oh, real quick, shout out Pizza Hut and their new Detroit style pizza.
Star Wars 1, you guys. We are all way off. Star Wars 1.
Star Wars
1.
Because they have a Darth Vader in the back. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Whatever.
Yeah.
Crap.
The sword's not yellow, so I didn't recognize it.
I give that book the finger.
Here's Avengers number 64. Inhuk Lee for Avengers 4, obviously.
Yep.
Love Namor right there. That's badass.
It's Namor, Brian. Get it straight.
Oh,
man.
yeah. Namor.
Is that what it is?
Yo, that's
I was
how he
gonna
says
say.
his name. Yeah,
Namor?
they did it. Yeah, he says
In
Namor.
Spanish
cool
or
with that.
French, or is that like just?
I don't
Namor?
know, man. He literally fucking said Namor in the trailer when I
I'm
heard
cool
him.
with
And
that.
Oh, did
yeah,
it?
that's
I
that's
can't
how,
wait to
yeah,
see the
yeah.
movie. It's gonna be awesome.
I'll,
Yeah,
I'll
to-
change how I say it. Maybe I still whenever I say Galactus in my
His mama
mind,
call
I'm-
him Clay. I'm gonna call him Clay.
Yeah, there you go. Another Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man
terrible.
50. But this
Terrible.
is JR.
Oh well.
Yeah.
Terrible.
After JR.
Why is
Dude,
the
what's up
Spider-Man
with
look so
Spidey's
fat?
back,
didn't,
bro?
Yeah, I
didn't
know.
JR get shot in Dallas? I mean, so he has two JRs. Like, what do we have for 2 bullets for this guy? I mean, this is fucking garbage.
Oh
This
God,
guy
dude.
is terrible.
Hold
Ryan
on, man.
Stegman right here.
Sorry.
Yeah, this is
Hey, you
Ryan
should be happy you're
Stegman.
colorblind for this one.
Yeah.
I can't even see half of it.
Man,
Um,
oh my God.
This is Pepe La Raza or La Raz.
Or
uh,
PP.
I like Pepe Larraz. I think he's good. I think he's really good.
Or
He may not be
PP.
the best cover, but I think he's really good.
Black Panther 13. Paco Medina.
Is that the Fantastic Four 52 homage?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a pass for me. That's a pass.
Next
It's
we
definitely
have
a weak version.
Captain Marvel 45 by
Skip this,
Carmen
skip this.
Carnero. Yeah, that's a definite skip.
Yeah, that's a hard pass for me.
Captain Marvel, man. Fuck that.
A
Oh.
Frank Cho.
Okay.
Look at
This I could rock
That
with.
looks pretty good.
This was like the first one that looks decent.
Yeah.
So.
This one's awesome.
That's cool.
Phil Noto,
hey,
guys.
Hey, in the
like-
famous words of Thorough, pause.
Yeah,
Pause.
Not
A
definitely
legend
not
is
gonna
born.
work on that one.
Yeah, man, that's beautiful. Noto is a beast. Invincible Iron Man number 2 by Esad Ribic.
I like Ribic. I'm not sure about the
Hey, go
squares of
back,
his
dude.
arm.
He's got an iron cock, dude.
Yeah,
Look.
he's got a
He's got
cod
an
piece,
iron
dude.
You can see his foot and his knee.
This
Right, if
reminds
he has to
me-
go to the bathroom.
But Ribic's good. He's solid.
That's the first thing you look at, Joe. Come
Oh,
on.
I'm
man.
sorry, man.
X-Men
sticking out,
141.
That's actually a really good homage to that.
It's
So was the
good.
GI
It's
Joe
okay.
one.
No, that's Jim Bartel. I'm not digging freaking Logan's face on here.
Hey,
He
I'm
looks
not
like he's
either.
about to take a dump, bro. Like,
Yeah.
Do you have the GI
And-
Joe version of this? And GI
Yeah,
Joe
I
Hyper?
have-
I I don't have it yet, but I went to go buy it and I was this close to hitting buy. And then I saw who the seller was on eBay and I went, nope, I will.
Red
save my
Hood,
money."
right? Red Hood.
was it Drew
No
Bish?
fucking way. No more media mail from that guy.
My brother has one of them. I can't remember which one he has. I think he has
thought
this.
you said that. Yeah.
My brother has the Snake Eyes one, but I think it's like which one? The Cobra one is the one that's super rare.
Yeah, the Cobra with Destro
Yeah.
and Barons. Yeah.
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 Well, still that up when he's sleeping.
Yeah. The seller was my favorite Yahoo. And if you guys should probably know who that is. This one, here we go. Miles joins.
Sleepy Miles.
Yeah. Miles Morales, Spider-Man number 2. This is by Stephanie Hans.
God, I can't believe that's Hans, dude.
I know. It
She's
looks
so
rushed.
good too.
Yeah.
Right? Caller, did you draw this? No way you drew this, Stephanie. What the hell, dude? They give you a couple of days or what? Please tell me that.
This
'Cause
is
this
gonna
is
sell like
trash.
crazy just because it's Miles.
Yeah. Here's the Momoko. Monica
Peaches.
Rambo Photon. No.
Oh,
thank you.
Peaches is at it again, dude.
Is this supposed to be
Hey,
an
if we need
X-Men
a My Little
101?
Pony Marvel, we know where to go.
Look at
Next.
Thing. What is up with Thing, man?
Bro, Peaches is at her thing again. We talked about it, dude. Like for every one comic, she's got
She got some
10
good ones.
that
She got
that are
some
terrible,
real
bro.
Shit ones.
Yeah.
And then this is the Moon Knight 19 by Nakayama. This one's actually not bad, but
I'm pretty
it's not
sure
great.
Joe sent me that on Facebook one day. He's like, pay
By
me
the
my
way,
money. or else.
Nakayama's. Did you guys see Nakayama's Catwoman yet? Ooh.
Nah, it's a pretty
Oh,
fire.
bro. It's fire. He's taking over Catwoman's. Here's
What?
Strange
Oh,
number
okay.
10.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not bad. What is that?
Pretty dope, man.
That is Doctor Strange 169.
Hmm.
And then Venom 15 by John Tyler Christopher. And this is not good for John Tyler Christopher. Usually John Tyler Christopher's so damn good.
That looks like
maybe worse than the original Bagley cover, which was
I mean, it looks like it belongs in a poly bag. Sold
I have a feeling that there's going to be a negative version coming out on his website for this.
Shit you not. If you mean negative, like I would drink rancid milk not to buy it. I'm in.
Are you sure it's not going to be acetate foil?
This is bad, you guys.
Dude, that can't be Adi Granov, dude.
This is Adi Granov, dude. It says Adi Granov. It says Adi Granov. There's his signature right there, you guys.
Bro, the scrolls are taking over our favorite artists, bro. What is going on, dude?
Actually, that's a good question. Who inherits the scroll?
Yeah. By the way,
that is fucking terrible, dude.
Shout out to Mr. Robot, who is calling it a night. He was on another level today, and we had to talk him down from a ledge. But he's doing good now. Shout out to Mr. Roboto.
Wait, are we sure these aren't done by like ghost artists, and they just use the big artist's name like attached to this?
Man, I hope that's not a thing, Aaron. You're gonna start up trouble, Aaron.
I'm going to start up trouble?
Right. We're going to have to call out these artists. That's not you. You didn't draw this. There's no way.
This is
we'll be going through all the comics. There's no way that comic looks like your work.
What is this homaging right here?
This is the Frank Miller Wolverine.
The short run, the 1 through 4.
Wolverine #1. The Frank Miller.
I mean,
that's terrible.
Not a great way. It's
no.
How about Liefeld, you guys? I don't. You know what? Here's crazy about this is Liefeld is not the worst of the bunch. He's not even the bottom 3, I don't think, and that's good for Liefeld. By the way, we got more Liefeld news coming up.
That's like saying Chuck Cecil wasn't the worst offender of the spearing rule.
Yeah,
it's because he doesn't have any feet in this cover. I mean, I'm a Liefeld fan, and it's just because he doesn't have feet featured in this cover.
Because he would have put baby feet on fucking Omega Red. Like how big that motherfucker.
Why are all his faces so similar? Like you can take that face and put it on.
That looks like Liefeld right now. That kind of looks like Liefeld.
No, his bangs aren't long enough. Like he has that one sliver that's just like this long, and they haven't changed since he wore his fucking dungarees or whatever.
You're right. He's been rocking that haircut, dude. He's been rocking that surfer California haircut forever, dude.
And it's like slim down here, and he keeps I don't even know what to call it.
It's awesome,
I guess.
Holy shit. And those aren't even hands, bro. Those shit look like he's wearing gloves, like he has mitts on.
Yeah.
He looks like the tentacles are Omega X.
The tentacles are just like tucked into the cuffs.
All his faces are the same, dude. They're all the same. It's crazy.
And that homegirl in the background looks like she don't got nothing up there on the chest.
Is Domino silver now, or is that?
There's the Liefeld. So you go into a barbershop and you ask for the Liefeld, and you'll walk out with that.
Don't call.
Yeah, don't touch the top of my hair.
Don't cut the bridge.
Don't cut that.
It almost looks like, like when those chicks get their head shaved, but they just keep the front, and you know what I mean?
The punk girl haircut.
Yeah, the punk rock haircut, dude. Yeah. And he's had this hair. He's never not had that haircut, I don't think.
Dude, you got to blame his family because the family could easily say, "Dad, don't go out with the hair like that."
I don't blame the family. I blame that big fat stack of money in his bank account to where he doesn't got to give a shit about what his hair looks like anymore.
I've seen a couple of those pictures on Instagram. You talk about a guy with a beautiful family. I mean, like holy mackerel, like his kids and wife, like they're
bro, yeah. He puts out some quality work, dude.
I don't know about his jeans. I don't know about like his dungarees or Levi's or Wranglers or whatever the fuck he's wearing, but they're the 501s. I'll give him that.
Yeah. Hey, listen, man. Listen, if you guys watched the last time we talked about Liefeld when he was going at it with Don Simpson. Was it Don Simpson? Who was it?
I think it was, and he lit him on fire, bro.
And Liefeld lit his ass on fire with his bank account. Basically, he said, he basically said, "I have top 3 of the top selling comics of all time. What have you done, dude?"
I have my friends. I will listen to Brian McClay, Yeezy, Thorough, Red Hood, Tony. I don't need to prove myself to you.
No, Brian fucking got me laughing because all I could think about is
we should have been like, We have
Oh,
29
Tank Girl,
Super chat
yeah.
tonight.
Yeah, you look
What
at
do
Tank
you
Girl
think?
and put a picture of Liefeld next to it. Now.
Oh man. So, anyways, you guys, there's more homages for you to go collect. I hope you guys are enjoying that.
I can't wait for FOC.
Well, I mean,
I'll take 5 of the peaches.
how does Marvel put out like the Disney ones that were everyone's like super excited about, and then like release this to follow up, right?
Same way Charmin does it.
I think those are the Chinese knockoff variants. Not
That
an
could be,
homage.
bro.
It's
It
not an
could be.
homage.
It could be. You might be right. You might. That's what I thought it was. It was like this is AI art in the. Jim Lee put up a post on his IG where he went to do a talk in a school. I'll bring it up here. It's actually pretty cool. Shout out to Jim Lee. Love Jim Lee, man. Just a real solid creator. OG. He put up this really cool post here. There we go. Says, when I was workshopping, hold on here. Let me get this up for you guys. Says, when I was workshopping a drawing class at Princeton, one of the topics that came up was the future of AI art engines. He said, I only seen weird outputs, warped images that looked painfully tortured, like paintings of my worst nightmares. And he hit it on the head. That's the truth. Faceless figures and mashed up features, interesting, but thought the technology still needed a ways to go. During the conversation, we decided to have fun and compare my cover for One Bad Day, Mr. Freeze, to the output from an AI engine using the words Jim Lee, Mr. Freeze, big headshot, and put man against machine. And these are what came up. Hold on here. Pretty interesting, right? So that's what I thought those covers were like. Adi Granov comic art, Wolverine 1 in the style of Adi Granov, because Jim Lee basically did this at his recent Princeton talk. He said, ethics aside, I have to say I was impressed with the AI results. I could see myself creating a comic in a day or two using such technology. I would certainly want to go in and alter the outputs, fixing and adding elements, yada, yada, yada. And he basically talked about a book we brought up on the Almost 10 the other night, that being that crazy all AI book. I don't know if you guys saw that on the Almost 10 last night. It is called, I'm terrible about this. It's called Abolition of Man. And it's based on C.S. Lewis writings. Very interesting. You guys can see it's really weird. You can still pick it up. There's probably like 8 copies left from this site alone. Excuse me for the coughs, guys. But very interesting. It's all AI art that they put through an image generator, one line at a time, from C.S. Lewis's philosophical essay, The Abolition of Man. And I don't know about you guys, but that is exactly what Jim Lee stated the art looked like. Tortured, grotesque, painful. And that's what that looks like. That, if I saw that cover, that's exactly what I feel inside. I just want to go like, ugh. You know, that's fucking hardcore right there. So
yeah, that is, man.
What do you guys think about the AI art? Do you think that it is a detriment? Do you think that it's going to cause more problems than, just than
as people get better and better at it, Brian, you could see it becoming a problem,
Yeah.
And I mean, anybody could be an artist if they know how to use the computer, right? And to take in somebody else's artwork and then inputting it into the AI and then changing it up and then making it look like a brand new piece. Like
Right.
You could see that becoming an issue in the next 10 years as people get better and better at using the AI.
I think
there's a lot of apps that you can make your own Riri comic book or Iron Man comic book, or
somebody's going to bring
cover.
Somebody's going to bring some lawsuits in the next 2 years, I think.
You think so?
Well, I mean,
why not? If you can source, I guess I'm curious if the artwork can you source the keywords that were used to create it? Because if you use somebody's name, an actual artist's name, to create the artwork, there's got to be a lawyer who'd pick up that lawsuit. Try to, if that was making money for some reason. If you were typing Jim Lee into every, everything you're producing on AI, some web page, why couldn't Jim Lee go after you for part of that?
Eventually, I could see you'd be able to download any image you want, right? If you take a cover of Ultimate Fallout and download that image, and it spits out another rendering, but making it look like it's an homage, right? Is that art? I don't know, but like that could be a thing,
Yeah.
Well, Jim Lee said it. Jim Lee said it right there. He pretty much said, bro, you can have me knock something out in a minute and just be done with it. And I could put out multiple pages, whatever it is, just by typing in words into the AI. For me, it's kind of fucking scary. I don't know if you guys ever seen the somebody actually went and did an AI art showing a depiction of the evolution of man. And it literally started from an ape and went all the way through everything, human beings, and then everything just turned into a robot, and literally at the very end started looking like everything we saw in the Matrix movie. I shit you not. I was just like, this is fucking scary as shit, because I was like, it's a damn computer showing you the evolution of man, and it's almost like, hey, we're gonna fucking eliminate you motherfuckers from this earth. And I was like, that's scary shit. But
no,
yeah,
I saw that. I think I saw that.
Right? Yeah, it was fucking wild.
Well, I mean, that's always been like a theory, right? That automation is going to take over so much and then get rid of like everyday jobs. Like, right. And it's like you can already see it like starting to happen nowadays. So I mean, like to start going into like, I guess like bigger grand ideas of like art or like anything like videos, whatever, that to start to take over,
look at
like
Walmart.
where's it get to a point where it's no longer humans being creative with all this kind of stuff, and it just becomes computer automation.
Yeah, but don't Brian, maybe because you've kind of dug more into this than I have, at least. The keywords, I mean, basically these programs are just doing Google searches, right? They're doing Google image searches for everything that has to do with that keyword, and whether it's random or amalgamation of whatever that is. So yeah, if you type in some conspiracy theory, term in there, they're going to pull up conspiracy theory pictures. Or if you type up dystopian thing, they're going to pull up, it's not making up its own. It's pulling all the stuff that we already vomited on the internet long ago.
Yeah. Yeah, basically. All right. There was another interesting thing based on the recent Almost 10 book that I saw that was pretty interesting. And let me see if I can find this here. So we talked about a book on the Almost 10, another Almost 10 book recently, and that being this really, really rare Spawn book, which none of us had ever seen. And Spawn collectors, you guys know what Spawn collectors are like, and rare Spawn books sell for a ridiculous amount. And this was the book on the Almost 10. It was this Spawn pirate book, right? And this is it's a special issue. It's the Angela special from Image. It was put out in 1995, I believe, right? And this is the variant. There's actually two covers, okay? This right here is both covers. Here's the regular cover. And as you can see, it's pretty cool covers. It's nothing crazy, but here's what's crazy about it. Bleeding Cool put out a post asking, is this Angela special edition the Spawn comic with the lowest print run? And we didn't know what this was at the time. Nobody had ever seen it. We asked in the chat what it was. Nobody got back to us. I was doing some research and I came across this. And this special edition recently sold on Heritage Auctions. I'll go over the sale in a second. And it's a pretty rare book. It was an exclusive retailer reward comic. An exclusive retailer reward comic. So retailers were able to get one copy of this if they ordered 25 issues of Spawn number 32. And it may be the lowest print run of any Spawn comic. In the comic, Angela pretends to be a human woman in trouble because she wants to talk to Al Simmons, and she tells him the story of her fighting a pirate Spawn a long time ago. Cutthroat was the name of the pirate Spawn. And basically, she leaves, giving Al one of her bracelets. But super, super rare book. And it recently sold at Heritage Auction. And you guys want to get angry? For one of the supposed rarest Spawn books out there?
$700.
$25. No, $65.
Wow.
So I don't think people realize what this book is. And either people don't realize what this book is, or we're way off on this, and Bleeding Cool is way off on this. But I don't know anybody that's ever seen the regular one, yet alone.
No, you're not way off. Let me go get it. Hold on.
There's I'm just I had never seen these before, but there's a bunch of
pull it out. Here it is.
I'm
on
all
eBay right
I just
now.
don't want to I just want to make sure everyone who's just watching, because we're all together. We're not doing the key collector hey, let's blow this fucking thing up.
Yeah.
Angela, at some point, she'll come. It makes sense, but I don't think any of us have really seen that one before.
Well, I mean, I think the real question is, was Heritage the right place for that book?
No.
Hell no.
Well, that doesn't even make sense to me. Why it would even show up at Heritage?
Heritage always sells random shit, man.
Random shit. There are about 10 of each of those on eBay right now.
Really?
Yeah, between $20 and $100.
There you guys go.
There's a 9.8 for $300.
They will be gone tonight.
What is Joe doing? He's been real quiet in the past 2 minutes.
Ooh, me? Nah, man.
He's typing up right there.
He's still looking for that goddamn 84 Rat Pack with Daryl Strawberry, which is right here.
Yeah. but
hey, dude, why are you putting your fingerprints on it? That should be secure.
I don't have
savage, bro.
A little shameless promotion. For those of you guys that don't know, every Friday night we do the Hot 10 over on Stein's channel. Make sure you guys go check out the House of Stein. You can find us there every Friday night. We talk about the hot books in the secondary market. We do the Almost 10 there every week. I'm going to start clipping it and putting it on this channel also. But if you want to catch it live, make sure you guys come and watch us every Friday night over on House of Stein for the Hot 10 comics list. So pretty good shit. All right, let's get into some more interesting stuff. Let's get into the big story that I kind of want to talk about, because I want to be very positive in my thought process on this, because I want it to fucking happen. I want it to manifest itself. I want this to not be another stupid, silly rumor, even though I think it is. But we're going to manifest this, you guys. Silver Surfer project supposedly in the works to release ahead of Fantastic Four. This comes from CBR. They are referencing another shitty site, but at least CBSR is referencing it, so that gives me a little bit of hope. It says here, a new report claims Marvel is developing a Silver Surfer Disney Plus special presentation, which will be released before the upcoming Fantastic Four movie. It comes from a website called The Cosmic Circus. I don't know if any of you guys have ever been to this website or ever seen this website, but what I heard, Marvel Silver Surfer to be a Disney Plus special. Numerous rumors circulated about the cosmic entities debuted over the years, some this past year, even pointing to a potential appearance in the upcoming Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special. This rumor, however, we are not yet verifying. So again, they're still saying it's a rumor, but it's pretty interesting. One of the things that they talked about in this was that it would be something along the lines of, and this is what I think is so great about it, if it is the case, Norrin Radd out on his adventures for Galactus, hasn't even come to Earth yet, which is way cool. To me, that's a great idea.
Way better story.
Way better storyline. You know what I mean? You get you don't have to have anything to do with Earth or anything to do with humans or none of that stuff. I want that storyline. Let's set, like, you don't have to have Doom be part of Fantastic Four. You don't have to have Silver Surfer be part of Fantastic Four. You know, you can tell his story, his storyline, his origin story as Norrin Radd, and becoming, the Horseman of not Apocalypse, Jesus Christ, the Herald of Galactus. So,
But I mean, like, you get tired. Like, again, we're talking about like ABC. Get rid of She-Hulk. Who wants to see something about Silver Surfer? I mean, like, that actually would do really well, like Ghost Rider. But Silver Surfer, I mean, like, Fantastic Four 2, I mean, it was terrible. But Silver Surfer was badass.
Fucking man.
Yeah.
So is this like kind of like setting up the rumor that it might be like a Werewolf by Night kind of thing?
Yes.
Where it's like a 1 hour special or whatever?
Yes.
I mean, I'm for that because that makes more sense for Disney Plus to be doing anyways, right?
And how cool would that be? Like, actually, we would have never thought about that before. Norrin Radd, before he was with the Galactus, going out and like where he's from and going to different universe. I mean, that's Marvel. That's what they should be doing.
Yeah.
Not this other just watered down bullshit.
No.
And I think Werewolf by Night was kind of the experiment, but at least from whatever the rumor sites are, and it makes sense. Feige and Marvel, they really like that format because you can really nail the writing in one hour-long presentation compared to 7 episodes. Some of them might hit, some of them might fall flat. You get made fun of. They can really button up the quality of it. If it's a feature.
How great it would be if you had like Silver Surfer like over here a little bit. People kind of know who he is, and then if like you had Doctor Doom a little bit over here, people Secret Wars know who he is. Fantastic Four is way back here. They have nothing to do with either one of them. And then Galactus comes in like that.
That'd be great.
I mean, it seems like a pretty good fucking recipe. Don't push it on people. Just let it slow burn and just let it. Maybe kind of like what we did with the Infinity War. Like, just let it maybe that's what comes together as.
You don't need the full budget of a full season, but you still dip your toe in the water and see if people are interested in that character. If they are, hell yeah, they're going to show up in other places.
And that's exactly what those specials are doing, right? In my opinion, Marvel's saying, hey, we don't know if we should put a whole season into Werewolf by Night. Let's do a quick little, 1.5 hour special, an hour special, and get what the audience feels about the character. If there's a lot of excitement, then we know we have a better chance at a series with them. And that's a great idea.
And then maybe they eventually realize, hey, Silver, Dakota North. Hey, maybe there actually are a lot of people who want Silver Surfer. Dakota North, nobody gives a fuck.
No, you know what though? Maybe you're making a joke, but you're absolutely right. It lowers the bar for it. Like, they can do experimental stuff with characters that they would never ever imagine in a feature film that's 2 hours, but we might get an hour and a half on
you
Disney
can put
Plus.
somebody else in something else, but like, who are the fucking main guys? I mean, who are the main people who are going to support the MCU? Stop going through all this bullshit and like pretending like, oh yeah, we got to have this person and this person. No, you don't.
Yeah.
No, you don't.
Well, then they also don't have to invest into multiple episodes or multiple seasons of a character either. With like these one shots, if you will.
Well, I just love the whole Galactus and Silver Surfer, relationship. I love the fact I've always loved the hero and villain dichotomy, the hero's journey. That's always the best story. We all know that. If you don't know that, You know it subconsciously because all of your favorite storylines are the hero's journey, right? And you have to, in order to have that great hero's journey, you have to have a character you don't like at first. And you know what the perfect example of that is? Game of Thrones, right? Everybody hated Jaime Lannister at first. At the end of the series, they fucking loved him. Everybody hated Matt Smith in the new Game of Thrones at the beginning. They set him up to make you hate that character. Now you love him at the end, right? That's an important thing. So we get Norrin Radd going out there and destroying planets, for Galactus. Like a comment. There was a comment that said in here. Let me find it here. About I love that line where
he could go from the ultimate villain to the ultimate hero.
Yeah, Norrin Radd's soul was so tainted that Mephisto refused it because of all the people that he murdered, basically to feed Galactus, right?
So is now time to buy the Mephisto books?
Yeah, buy him now because he's supposedly being set up, right?
It's gotta be.
You guys ever watch that old animated Silver Surfer show?
Hell yeah!
It's the one that's on Disney Plus, like the 90s. Yeah, love it.
Good old Shakespearean Silver Surfer.
I gotta tell you, and I guess this is where the colorblind thing is. There's just too much colors. Like I can't figure out what's going on. Like it's just right. There are a lot of colors on there. I'm always like, I can't figure out. It's too hard.
I don't know if I have enough faith in this joint, man. I'm not even gonna lie. Especially with the writing that has come out for a lot of these shows so far on Disney Plus, I'm not too freaking confident in the fact that they'll be able to pull off a 1 hour special for freaking Silver Surfer. Especially Silver Surfer having such a big following, and with a lot of people knowing we've already got him before. You know what I mean?
So I would say that's actually the opposite. If they have that much faith and he has so much of a following, like he's the one I would think they actually do it right.
I hope so, bro. That's why I'm engaged. Black Panther, man. Black Panther's going to tell us all. It's going to tell it all. I'm telling you, Black Panther right now is that movie.
That's the baseline.
Yeah.
Either you're up or you're just.
It's like what Guardians of the Galaxy. If that movie was not a hit, we wouldn't have gotten Infinity War or Endgame. Like that movie, like secretly was like. It had to be be a hit.
It changed the whole Marvel world.
Right. The minute it was a hit, they moved on it. They put a part 2. Okay. And then you saw Feige come out with the full slate. Okay. Now it's a hit. Now we can tell our story. Now we're going to tell you that this is the Infinity Saga. Now we've got, so they need that Black Panther to like wrap this whole phase 4 up. And say, okay, now we can now here's where we're going. But if Black Panther doesn't do that, we're in trouble. You know what I mean? And then like the trailer for what you call it, Ant-Man's supposed to be attached to this. So like hopefully we get a double whammy with the end credit scene that leads into that's in 3 months. So like this could be epic or it could be terrible. Yeah.
Did you guys see? Wasn't there a new trailer released for Black Panther?
I think
was there like a new little teaser?
That was the one where I ended up hearing Namor himself,
right?
And he calls himself Namor. Yeah.
Put it up, Brian.
Yeah, I'll put it up. Here we go. I'll find it here.
And then instead of microdose, real quick, Nate, instead of microdosing, you just take a major dose, and then maybe you could start seeing colors again. Or seeing colors for the first time.
Hey,
I'm telling you,
and watch some gold. I'll do a little whatever, get some gold.
It reminds me too of our old Simple Man Patreon days, where the whole crew was trying to get the hashtag common for Silver Surfer going in the mainstream. I still think that would be amazing casting.
Is this it? Tell me if I got the wrong one. I think this might be it, but we'll find out.
He's coming. Without the Black Panther, Wakanda will fall. Vibranium, he's covered in it. That can't be good. Let's go! One slice.
hold on. This right here is actually a badass shot. Hold on, let me replay that. Where they're jumping out that plane together.
Marvel Studios, Black Panther, Wakanda for.
One slice. Now is our time. All my life, I've been running all my life to strike.
Marvel Studios, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, only in theaters, November 11th.
I love that they gave him the ankle wings.
Yes.
The ankle wings are in, man.
And they actually pulled it off. That was the biggest thing to me. I was like, do not put those in. If they put the ankle wings on them, they'll ruin it. It actually looks good. I hate,
Dude, I'm gonna go get me some ankle wings, bro.
Just gotta Red Bull.
I'm gonna see if I can find the trailer for you, because the trailer where he actually names himself, he goes up to Ramonda and tells her, he's like, I am Namor. He's like, I'm trying to find out if Wakanda's an ally, and that's what he says. And that was the first time you ever hear this fucking dude say his name, and a lot of people were like, what the fuck?
Let me see if this is it right here.
Yeah, I'm gonna call him Namor.
No woman, no cry.
Honestly, this is kind of the part I want to see the whole
Good friends
ceremony.
we have and good friends we've lost along the way. In this great future, you can't forget your past. So dry your tears.
Boom. Is that Namor being born?
Yeah.
That's got to be Namor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. See the little ankle feathers?
Yeah, as big as ears, though.
That headdress is so awesome.
I think this is the first trailer.
Everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright.
That's a good little setup right there.
Oh, for Riri?
Whoa! It looked like he just kind of grew. I mean, did they hit him with the mushroom?
For a minute, I thought they were burning Iron Tony Stark's house on the California coast.
I mean, it literally. I know they give him a lot of shit for not having a muscular body, but he literally looks like they just gave him a mushroom and he. Want.
I am queen of the most powerful nation in the world, and my entire family is gone. Have I not given everything?
I don't know who she is. She's the best. I think she's the most accomplished of the whole thing. I'm telling you, the mom.
See, bro, that feels like a Marvel movie, right?
The mom is
this other crap they've put out doesn't feel like Marvel. This feels like a Marvel movie, right? It feels like epic.
It looks
like that other shit that they put out, and it makes me feel like, man, they should have waited on Spider-Man. You know what I mean? To do it right, to do it like this. You know what I mean?
I love Spider-Man.
I like Spider-Man. I thought Homecoming.
I thought it could have been better. You know what I mean? I thought it could have been better.
By the way, you guys, there's
they should have taken their time with Thor. You know what I mean? If these movies aren't ready to go, don't make them.
They
right, because they rushed it.
Yelling at each other. I mean, what the fuck is that?
They rushed it. You know what I mean? Like this.
Sorry, Ryan.
You can genuinely see they took their time on this movie, from soundtrack to just.
But they should, because with Chadwick Boseman in Black Panther, he should have literally, when Iron Man died. I mean, I think for me at least,
right, the torch should have been passed.
He should have been like the next guy who's leading the Avengers. Steve goes his way. He died. This guy, I mean, he was just he was easy to follow and easy to love. He just everyone can get around him. And now, like, literally, his dad died, basically kind of like a UN conference. He's gone. His mom, that's why I keep saying his mom, I think, is going to be the one who makes the movie. She has given everything, and she says it.
Oh, yeah.
Everything. Because if people want to have Shuri as Black Panther, that's fine. She's not the Black Panther. I'm never going to get into that, but
no.
Like I don't see it. Like, to me, she's always going to be like the nerd kid doing the science, which is fine. And I'm not going to get into Ironheart because I don't get it. But if you want to get one of these guys who's going to be,
I think the Marvel movies live and die with the director because they give so much creative control to the director, who's basically the writer. They might have another writer take passes at it, but Coogler writes his movies. Taika Waititi writes his movies. James Gunn writes his own movies. They give so much creative freedom to them that, if Taika goes off the rails, what are you going to fire him from his own Taika Waititi movie?
No, but Michael B. Johnson will always come in at some point. I think he'll always kind of, or somebody. I just don't think Shuri is. I just don't see it. I mean, like, if I'm a Marvel person, I don't buy Shuri as Black Panther. She's just a little too Magoo. She's like me. She's just kind of too big of a nerd to be the Black Panther. Like that.
I mean, we'll see how it pans out, but like, everybody seems to think that Black Panther's girlfriend is pregnant and she's gonna have a child that's going to be
Tosin.
Not Tosin, another T'Challa.
Yeah, another T'Challa. I think that's smart. I think that's very smart. But I think that there's no doubt that Shuri is the Black Panther in this one. Period.
Yeah,
Shuri is Black Panther. People, if you want to, when it comes out and I'm wrong, hit me up then. But as of right now, there's no doubt.
Yeah,
and that's fine if they're going to kind of do it for that movie. But like, to me, that's not her role. Like, Shuri is Shuri, and there's.
Yeah, but that was the thing in the comics for quite a long time.
I mean, they had it in comics. I don't see it. I just don't think it fits the whole universe. Like, I think Shuri is better as a scientist.
Yeah,
I don't see her. Black Panther 3 might.
It almost seems like Riri is taking the part of Shuri, so that they can have that Q, that inventor type of character that everybody always likes to have. So we'll see how it plays out.
Black Panther 3 might end up just like being a Wakanda movie. Like exploring. They're fleshing out all these other characters that they barely touched on in the first one.
They got a lot of good characters. I mean, that's the whole thing is, like, there are a lot of people who could actually probably move into that role. Again,
you got to remember, Namor is going to be like a thing now. Like, like I anticipate like this character being a hit. Like there's going to be more to come with this guy. You know,
where will he show up again?
Who knows, man?
Fantastic Four,
maybe. Yeah. But like I'm interested. I want to see a full trailer of Ant-Man because they're going to be connected. So
kills the King.
Yeah, and still Kang looms, in the background, and then everybody's talking Doom and keep talking about it. Let's get to let's get there. I'm tired.
Brian, you put this up, and I think this is actually a good point. Do you guys get tired of people being in Star Wars and the MCU? Because to me, if you take one role, you can't be both. If you want to be James Bond, that's fine, but you can't be Dr. Doom and Darth Vader.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I like Adam Driver. I think
I like Adam
Driver would
Driver,
be great
but
as Doom.
I like Adam Driver and I like Dr. Doom. I just don't think this is a good match. I view Dr. Doom more as like a Viggo Mortensen type, like.
Yeah, that's a good pick.
Viggo Mortensen, that's actually really good.
That's a good pick.
Yeah.
Well, as long as he leaves the helmet on, I'm fine.
He won't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Thorough, who's your pick to be Dr. Doom?
Dr. Doom. I would have liked to see Giancarlo Esposito, bro. To be honest with you, I know a lot of people wanted to see him as Professor X, but I see that dude playing that role 100% down to the fucking T. I would definitely pick Giancarlo Esposito, bro.
I don't think he's Doctor Doom.
I think it's hard to cast Doctor Doom because he's always in a mask.
Yeah,
And not a lot of these folks want to be behind a mask the whole damn time. And that's
the guy I'm thinking of, who it could be in a mask the whole time. Who's the guy from Breaking Bad? The old Bryan Cranston.
Bryan Cranston.
He could pull it off. He's pretty flexible.
Bryan Cranston should play Stan Lee, bro.
Yeah.
You ever see those fan posters of they made fan posters with Cranston with the glasses like Stan Lee? That'd be a badass movie.
But like Bryan Cranston, like even when he did the was it King Kong? He was only in it for like 2 minutes. And he just the power and the force. Like he had.
I do think they're gonna age appropriate. They're gonna have Doom and Reed Richards be, so if it's Krasinski, who's in his 40s, I don't think they're going to choose somebody in their 60s necessarily for Dr. Doom. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's fair.
All right.
That makes sense.
Another interesting thing that I saw, we all heard about the Batwoman or Batgirl film that they completely filmed. It was ready to go. The two directors uploaded it onto the Warner Brothers server and found out that it was going to be killed. Check this out. Michael Keaton was paid $2 million for a 2-minute role in that movie. Right?
It's almost the same payroll we have for you here.
That is amazing, dude. And
he's all, you sure you don't want me to say any more lines? No, you're good. You don't want me to shoot anything or take out my Batwing, Batarang, or no, you're good. You're good.
Same costume, so he doesn't even have to turn his head. He's good. Just
wow, man, that's crazy. $2 million to appear as Batman in the now canceled Batgirl film, and was only on set for around a week. They say that his thing was just a couple minute. We know he's in the Flash a lot, but I think the interesting thing to me is now he's going to be in 2 movies. We wanted more. All of the fanboys out there wanted to see Keaton back in the cowl and play Batman again, play Bruce Wayne again, and they put him in 2 movies, and we're still not getting him because I think Flash is going to be fucking canceled too.
Brian, I think I was going to say, you'll never see him because Flash is out. And the question is, where is DC going to be sold? Because Warner Brothers is not going to hold on to him.
Well, we haven't talked about Black Adam yet. I don't want to get too into it because, everybody's kind of already talked about it. But from what I'm hearing, everybody that's seeing Black Adam is saying it's fucking good.
Yeah.
Yep. And
I think Thorough, did you see Black Adam?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I went on Thursday for that little fan premiere that they had.
How was it?
I loved it. And for people that want to, that's why I say go fuck the critics, bro. Fuck the critics, because all the critics come out and it's the same shit that they say all the time. It's the same people that fucking said the Eternals should fucking get an Academy Award and all this shit, and fucking the Eternals was fucking trash.
Those are the same guys that On Golden Pond should get one. So
yeah, so I don't trust it. And nowadays,
years before you.
Yeah, nowadays to believe critics, man, you already know that Disney has critics out there that they pay, so that they go on there, bash DC, do all that stuff. But I will tell you 100% right now, that fucking book, that movie, should I say, was hands down as comic accurate as a freaking comic book movie could get. And so if people go and watch it, people have to, you really can't complain.
They get one right. They've got Peacemaker on DC.
Yeah, and Peacemaker was.
What else? They've messed up so much stuff. But they've got. I mean, like if I'm Warner Brothers, if you're talking about public trade entity, they don't make anything off this. They don't make anything off this. They got more bad debt. It's who can I push this to? In some way, I don't care if it's NBC or whoever, somebody, Hulu, streaming, whatever it is. Someone, I feel like eventually it's going to be pushed off to somebody else because Warner Brothers don't anymore, because I don't think they want the printing aspect of it. and they've got so many, like Brian, the whole thing you just went through, Batgirl, Bad Debt,
right?
Press On. They don't. It's not worth it to them.
Well, I think if this makes money, it really breaks the trend for DC. Like a lot of DC execs, it feels like, or whoever the parent company is in any given year,
Warner Brothers,
they really think the only money is in Superman, Batman, maybe Wonder Woman now, and that's it. And that's it. They might throw a Joker movie out there that did all right. Maybe they'll have some stuff on TV that the critics like or some people like, but to actually have a character that, I mean, the general populace has no idea who Black Adam is, no clue. But now they do.
I'm with you, Tony. I
know what I mean?
completely agree because he's going to do well.
The strength of DC, in my mind, and I'm a Marvel guy, but the strength of DC is all those other characters, all those other stories, the Booster Golds, the Specters, the all that wacky cool stuff.
That's not them. Then the corporate office, they got Ezra Miller being a complete fucking moron,
right?
Which is what he is. The Rock is a stud as Black Adam, and I think he'll do well. I agree with you completely.
But maybe now they know, like with a decent budget and with a decent star and with a decent script, they could make
a decent budget when you have to take The Rock and who's the guy from James Bond, the older
Pierce
guy.
Brosnan.
Yeah,
he was awesome.
I don't think there's a decent budget when you have to take those kind of guys into the budget to kind of get this going. And so, and then you've got everything with the DC is just, it's not worth it. To me, I think it's a bad write-off for them. I think like for me and you, yeah, they have the good stories and they finally get the right people in it. It's way too much money. They've backed out way too much on like Ezra Miller, the Justice League. They've gone too far. Wonder Woman 2 was a bad one. Like it just doesn't balance out. Like the balance sheet doesn't work. The P&L doesn't work. Sell this to somebody else who will stream it, and I think eventually DC gets sold off to someone else, and especially bad economy within 12 months.
Possible.
It's a liability on the balance sheet, not an asset, because they don't like you and I on our balance sheets. Batman's a asset. Having the property rights, these guys, I think it's more of liability because of all the shit they have to pay off and owe.
No, but they got rid of Walter Hamada, man. That was the main problem. That was the main problem, and you could see because Walter Hamada's name does come up in the credits in the movie. You could still see some of his elements in here presented, but you could see that The Rock fought really hard to not go in that direction. Because if they would have left it up to Walter Hamada, this fucking movie would be a complete failure. And you could tell that The Rock put his heart and soul into it because he literally, and I know the number one complaint I keep hearing from fucking people is, oh, how come he didn't have an accent? Well, what the fuck happened to Scarlet Witch?
Why doesn't he need an accent? Has anyone actually read like the latest Black Adam series? Number 4?
I'm reading it. Yeah.
Dr. White, Malik.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's a really good story. Like that actually is made for fucking TV in the movies.
But you don't really ever hear people talk about it. That's the thing, because who's reading, and that's the problem too. But that's why I told people, I was like, well, there you go.
Not only who's reading, it's who's reading DC.
Yeah. And like I said, too much shit that's just going on around right now. You got a lot of these writers who are trying to push their agendas into every single fucking thing you read. I was so pumped up when I was reading Marvel's fucking Captain America. I'm not a freaking huge Captain America fan, but when I was reading Captain America Sentinel of Liberty, fucking started off awesome. Went in a complete different direction. Went into, going into, into talking about almost aliens and shit. And I was like, yo, this is dope. Fucking goes into, what was it, issue 4, I think it was. And then all of a sudden they start calling Captain America a socialist for fucking being a part of the army, this, that. And I was like, what the fuck? And literally that whole issue, that's what it was about. Then all of a sudden they come back again, and then they read. I was like, what the fuck, man? Come on.
This last
right here in your picture. There's your first problem with DC.
Well, the good thing is that, and we were kind of talking about this earlier, the fact that this could set the stage for a DC, renaissance, and more importantly, set the stage for Justice League Dark. Right?
Do you think they would actually ever give? Who's the guy who did Guardians and Peacemaker?
James Gunn.
Yeah. Do you think they'd actually give him the reins and let him do his own?
I hope they don't.
I don't think it wouldn't work, right?
He's too funny.
You could-
I don't want.
yeah.
I don't want things
Yeah,
to be
you
funny.
don't want- DC shouldn't be funny. It should.
No. Dark.
Peacemaker, you can do it
Brooding.
because you need to sell them.
Have you guys seen the trailer for the new Titans series?
Yes, it's badass.
Dude,
that whole series
that
has been
looks
great.
That
so
series
like
is
you
good.
can see like elements like
It's dark.
all you need is one show to do good, and they had that with Peacemaker, and then Batman came out and that was decent, and now Black Adam is good, and Titans looks good. Like you
Joker?
can see like
Joker
this
was good.
wheel starting to move. Like the more hits you have in a row like that,
doesn't-
and you get people talking about it,
It
and
doesn't
like
have to all mesh,
right.
right?
So like you just need
Good stuff.
the content to be good,
Oh, to
right?
build
In
up the
order for
momentum?
people,
Yeah.
right? In order for momentum, right? And it looks like DC slowly is starting to gain some momentum, and
Joe,
like Nate
they're
said,
getting
like
theirs,
the Black Adam
and
story.
and Marvel.
You read it, Thor read it.
Marvel's kind of Miss Marvel. I didn't think was bad. She-Hulk, Thor. I did not like Moon Knight. You kind of start boom, 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 and then you start getting Batman,
Mhm.
Peacemaker. Exactly what you're saying, Joe. It just kind of builds, and then one start. It's a natural cycle. At some point, you can't keep everything at this level. You're going to fall off, and this one is going to start building. So,
I mean, it could easily happen. I mean, that's the low hanging fruit is DC like Bronze and Silver Age books, and like they're on the cheap, and like
I don't
like
know. About that.
you start getting some momentum with DC. Like you could start to see these books start to really.
Well, I mean, did we kind of expect that also for Phase 4 with MCU? Like, when
No.
we saw all of those titles that were coming
no,
out.
man.
Were you expecting it? I mean, to follow something like Endgame, like, could we say that that was the peak of Marvel, right?
Sure,
you couldn't go above that.
but I didn't think
Yeah,
it was going to be shitty after shitty after shitty.
I mean,
after shitty.
I felt like
You're
it was
a
going
Mets
to
fan.
decline.
You can expect shitty after shitty.
I mean, I was expecting it to decline a little bit.
Sure,
everything.
I get that, but
to, like,
not
build
every single thing. Every single thing sucks.
Yeah.
Like, bro, you got people going, Echo's going to be badass. No, it ain't. It's going to be terrible.
Dude, you're the one who was saying that. You love Echo.
No, Echo sucks.
No,
bro.
you were the first one who's like, I'm all for Echo.
Mm-mm. No way. Mm-mm.
You're like, I'll translate.
Yeah,
I saw that
Let's-
and I
let's
go,
go back to
oh
the
my
rewind.
god,
Let's go
they're
back to
making
the
a show of
rewind.
that.
Yeah.
Fuck that, dude. Hey,
All right.
and everybody's all like, this is too violent for Disney Plus. It can't be too violent. Well, why did they put the Netflix shows on Disney Plus?
Hey,
Does
now you got
anybody
Star
think
Wars.
about that?
Hey,
They got
now you
they got
Star Wars, you got
Daredevil.
shit.
They got
You some people
Daredevil
sleeping with
season 1
people.
and season 2 on Disney Plus, and it's super violent.
Well, I
So,
mean,
like, why
hey,
wouldn't they? Like, you
I mean-
already have violent stuff on there,
I mean, have you not seen the first episode of Jessica Jones? Doesn't she be
Right.
like Luke Cage in that?
right? Right. So,
Yeah.
what are we talking about here? That they can't make this or that? They put content on their streaming service that it's everything we're saying that they can't do. Oh, it's too violent. They can't do that. It's too. Well, they already have it on the streaming service. Like, what are we talking about?
All right, you guys, let's change this up real quick. This episode is brought to you by Rick Simpson Oil. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're joining along, take your Rick Simpson oil, put it on fish oil. It helps with the cotton mouth. All right, we got a new segment, you guys. This new segment, hopefully soon, will be brought to you by Heartless Weeb. Our good friend Nick Hart has a great manga YouTube channel called Heartless Weeb. Make sure you guys go sub up. I want to get Nick involved in this, and he doesn't even know this. But ladies and gentlemen, it is manga time.
I like
On
that
Modern
intro.
Comic Mayhem. You like that? You like that? All right. So I found probably one of the best IG accounts when it comes to manga and first appearances. And I know we all love first appearances. We talked about it in the beginning of the show. We all love first appearances, I know. So we're going to tell you some about them. This is Key Manga Collector on IG. It is amazing. At some point, we're going to reach out to Key Manga Collector and get Key Manga Collector on. But what Key Manga Collector does is he brings you, or they bring you, the original first appearances of a lot of these characters that we all know and love in our favorite anime shows and mangas and all that fun stuff. Starting off with the first appearance of Dragon Ball and Goku from Shonen Jump number 51 from 1984, ladies and gentlemen. This is what you're looking for. Here's the interior art. I love how they do this. They show the cover. They tell you the first appearance. They show you the interior art of where they first appear, which is absolutely amazing. Let me mute whoever that is. There we go. Great stuff. Make sure you guys check it out. But yeah, this is the first Goku and first Dragon Ball in Shonen Jump number 51 from 1984. Very, very cool stuff. He goes through the whole thing. But don't worry. We got more Dragon Ball stuff. This is the first appearance of Gohan from Shonen Jump number 46 from 1988. Pretty damn cool. Be on the lookout for Shonen Jump number 46. Well, don't worry. We got even more. Dragon Ball.
I wish Josh was on right now because I know he's been big on a lot of these Shonen Jumps.
Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball was officially first appearance in Shonen Jump number 51 from 1984, right? Everybody's looking for that one. But in issue 50, they have a quote unquote next issue in Shonen Jump showing Goku and Dragon Ball. So also be on the lookout for issue 50. I don't know if you guys want to call this the cameo or I call it first appearance.
True first.
It's the first time we see it. True first. Yeah, yeah. So there it is. This is Shonen Jump, which has a great Muscle Men cover or Kanika Men cover or whatever they call it, which we'll have more of that coming up in this segment. Next on the list is actually the first issue of Shonen Jump from 1968, you guys. Shonen Jump has been released since 1968. This is the first Shonen Jump magazine. Pretty damn cool to see. This is just as much history as it is comic books. But we continue with some of your new favorites. Of course, One Piece is a huge favorite in the manga and anime community. And Shonen Jump number 34 from 1997 is super rare. First appearance of One Piece. But there's also some other cool appearances of One Piece. This is the first appearance of Monkey D. Luffy, the prototype for One Piece. It was in Romance Dawn version 1 from Shonen Jump Summer Special 1996. He says, Key Manga Collector says, super rare, maybe 5 copies come up for sale in an entire year. So for all you One Piece collectors, this is a major, major book to be on the lookout for.
Oh, before you move on to the next one, I want to thank Thorough for jumping on with us and hanging out. So I saw that you had to go.
Yo, no, I appreciate it, yo. Yeah, definitely, McClay.
You got a seat anytime, Nate, brother.
Tony, I appreciate it, fellas. Nah, thank you for having me on. I got to bounce because my little ones are freaking jumping out of the bed and gotta get their asses back into the bed.
I'll make it easier.
Nah, man, what you need to do is, for being a Met fan, you need to take that Giants fan and switch that over to a Jets hat. That's what.
How much fun you know how that goes, pal? How much?
Hey, it's all right. I'll send you an Astros hat. So you know.
No, man. Listen. Don't talk about that right now. My soul is hurting right now. All right, fellas. Y'all have a great one, man. Stay easy.
All right.
Take care, Thorough.
All right. The next on the list for the One Piece fans out there, it doesn't end. The second Monkey D. Luffy prototype is in Shonen Jump number 41 from 1996. So there you guys go. Let's continue on. How about Naruto, as I like to say, from Shonen Jump 1999, number 43. This is the first appearance
Oh,
Pretty
I think
damn
we're
cool.
getting a couple questions. I think some of these Shonen Gun books are thin enough for CGC to grade. Is that correct? Or
Most of them, these are all thick, super thick.
Oh, okay.
They're thicker than trade paperbacks.
Okay, so yeah, they're
Yeah,
bigger than a half inch. Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think it's like what the limit's a half inch thickness of what they can grade currently.
Can't remember. Next we have first appearance of Attack on Titan. This is shown in 2009 from Besatsu Shonen. So that's a different magazine, but here you guys go if you guys want to see it. Pretty damn cool. That's what you're looking for. Pretty tough to find. Maybe 5 copies come up for sale in an entire year is what Key Manga Collector is. This is a great page, by the way, you guys. This is one piece of collecting that I am going to get into. I am going to be very heavy looking on these books. Very heavy. I've decided this is going to become one of my main collecting things, one of my main tentpoles that I am looking for not because I like it, pure investment opportunity. That's it. First appearance of Chainsaw Man. Shout out to both Heartless and Sam, who are big, Sam from Triple D Dodgeball, who are big Chainsaw Man fans. And this is Shonen Jump 2019 #1, first appearance of Chainsaw Man, which is damn cool.
Oh, and then also, if you're interested in watching Chainsaw Man, it's now on Hulu. So check it out.
Nice. Next on our list, we have first appearance of Bleach from Shonen Jump 2001, number 36 and 37, and it came with cards. It looks like a lot of these Shonen Jumps came with cards once it started becoming that era. But pretty cool. Bleach is a huge favorite among a lot of anime fans.
Oh, the new series is also on Hulu as well.
First appearance of My Hero Academia is from Shonen Jump 2014, number 33. So you guys can see here. Pretty damn cool.
Ooh,
that's
and
awesome.
if you want the American appearance, that's in the One Punch Man Free Comic Book Day comic.
There we go. Next, we have the first appearance of Sailor Moon from 1992, Nakiyoshi 1992. Super rare. In an entire year, one copy might get listed for sale on big Japanese auction sites. So here it is, first appearance of Sailor Moon. That's a major find. Very cool.
And it seems like Sailor Moon fans are like super rabid with their stuff.
Oh yeah,
like
all of them.
Like I don't know which one's worse, Star Wars or Sailor Moon.
This is my first one I'm looking for, you guys. I want this first appearance of Inuyasha from Shonen Sunday 1996, number 50. This is the one I want to buy first because Inuyasha is my favorite anime series. Love it. Reminds me of it's kind of got like a Legend of Zelda feel to for me for some reason, just because of how important the swords are on it. So Inuyasha is in first appearance of Inuyasha is in Shonen Sunday 1996 from 1996 number 50. So there you guys go. Pretty damn cool, as you can see there. Next we have first appearance of Akira from Young Magazine 1982 number 24. Right? This is pretty cool. I see Nate over there going, ooh.
Never seen that.
Yeah. First appearance of Akira. Pretty tough book to find. You guys can see here.
That's big time.
Maybe 5 copies come up for sale in a year. Next on our list, we have first appearance of Naruto, the prototype from Akamaru Jump, Summer Special 1997. Here's the prototype of Naruto. There you guys go. Be on the lookout for that. Then we have the Great Fist of the North Star. First appearance is from Shonen Jump 1983, number 41. All you Fist of the North Star fans, I remember
Yes,
first time I
sir.
saw Fist of the North Star, it was on like Showtime or HBO back in the
It is
mid or
the
early
best.
90s. Yeah. So good,
And
man.
if you guys collect this in North Star, they actually have different covers for like 1 through 7. And they're $2.95 a piece. And they same color, but different covers. I've been trying to buy them all, as many as possible. I love this North Star. Kencho.
Next shout out to Vinny Kumar, who is on the hunt for the first Astro Boy. This is the first Astro Boy prototype from Ambassador Adam Chapter 4 from 1951. Shonen Magazine 1951 number 7.
Wow.
Only a few copies of this book have survived. That's crazy. Look at that. So Vinny thought he had this the other day, and it turned out to be a different book, but pretty damn amazing that this is out there. And then we got 2 more, you guys. This is my second book that I'm on the search out for. This is the first appearance of Kinnikuman manga from Shonen Jump 1979, number 22. Of course, Kinnikuman became Muscle, or Muscle Men as I call them, the little pink characters that showed up in our toy shelves in garbage cans. And as you can see, there they are. Pretty damn cool. My favorite one is the hand.
Is that how they got the names?
Yeah.
They were that's awesome. I always wonder how they, you got the bag of the characters and they had hand, muscle.
Yeah. So pretty damn cool. And then finally, you guys, we have the first appearance of Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer is probably the hottest, one of the hottest, if not the hottest newer anime. And here is the first appearance of Demon Slayer in Shonen Jump 2016, number 11. So be on the lookout for that, all you Demon Slayer fans. I'm sure that's probably an easier one to find. It's one of the newer ones, but pretty damn cool. That, ladies and gentlemen, is manga time. All right. We're not. Oh, there
Manga
we go.
time.
He's got. Yeah.
Nice.
Kira. Not bad, brother. Not
Where's
bad
your
at all.
38 now?
Yeah, working on that one, pal. I'm a Fist of North Star. Like, I like Akira, but Fist of North Star all day long. Akira, it's okay. It's not Fist of North Star.
Yeah, I'm a Akira fan.
I love it all, dude. I
Man.
love it.
Yeah, the last time I saw a Raw 38 at a con, like,
38.
the guy was asking like $500 for it or something like that, and it was like at best a very fine plus.
I think things have probably come back a little bit more to normal since then.
Yeah, probably. This was like the first time I met Ninth Wonder. So,
Hunter.
All right.
yeah.
Have you guys seen the new trailer for Creed 3 yet?
No.
Mm-mm.
I just saw it.
So this is the main reason why I want to show this is Jonathan Majors. Jonathan Majors.
I saw that
to
he got
me,
ripped.
Dude, Jonathan Majors to me was so good in that final, and even though he's only in it for 5 minutes of Loki, he was so good as Kang, and he's so great in what was the series he did, the Cthulhu series.
Yeah. What was it called?
I can't remember the name of the series. Anyways, that series was really good. Great actor, and he was absolutely amazing as Kang, as the first go round of Kang. But he's going to be diabolical in Ant-Man. I have a feeling he's going to be unreal. But if you guys don't think he was a great actor, or he puts time and effort into his craft, Lovecraft Country. Thank you, Jersey to the Bay. If you don't think he puts time and effort into his craft, you need to watch this. This is absolutely unreal. Here we go. This is the new Creed 3 trailer that Michael B. Jordan directed. He actually directed this. So here we go.
Really?
That looks really good, dude.
There's something about a good boxing movie, man. It's just really awesome.
I was in it for a little bit. I'm like, I don't know. There's a difference between like Rocky and Apollo. Yeah, they had such a rivalry and they trained together, and he died. It feels like
Dude,
I love the idea of like bringing his kid. I'm like, now it feels like I don't know. I don't get it. I think it's just saturation now. I don't think it's as good, nearly as good.
When did Creed 1 and 2 come out?
I like Creed 1 because especially I love like I never heard like, and it sounds simple, but I never heard anyone say "unk," and the way he was like talking to Balboa, "unk," like he cared so much about him than Balboa did about Creed. I don't know. I think like the whole Russia USA thing, Creed and Apollo, like there were so many different angles. This is just like we need somebody to fight the Fantastic Four. Oh, we got him, Kang.
I think this is gonna be good, man. I have a feeling that's gonna be a good one.
I hope so.
I'm looking forward to it. I just think that Jonathan Majors has really, to me, proved himself to be a great actor. So,
he looks like a stud.
Yeah,
I think he's on the verge of getting some awards and he's going to be the new A-list.
Yeah, he looks badass. All right, let's go through a couple more first looks at some new books that are coming out. This is an interesting one. This is coming out soon. It's DC's first event of 2023. So it is Lazarus Planet. You guys see any of this?
Mm-hmm.
I get it. It's DC. I know. Hold on here.
Hey, the way they're doing DC and Detective, or Batman Detective.
All right, here we go. So Lazarus Planet. And this character right here is going to be a big deal in DC moving forward. I know Trey's been talking about him quite a bit as of late.
Four eyes there?
What's that?
4 eyes there?
What?
Oh, he has 4 eyes.
Oh, yeah. But he's been talking about that character quite a bit on the radar on Wednesday nights. But yeah, this is another Mark Waid series. Heroes transformed, secrets revealed, powers unleashed is the event's tagline, which involves an explosion of the Lazarus volcano spitting transformative lava into the atmosphere. The eruption has worldwide status quo altering effects on existing superheroes, like transforming the John Kent Superman into a version of his dad's former electric blue persona. That's what grabbed me, you guys, right? And check this out. I always liked that blue electric Superman. I don't know why. I just always liked it when I was a kid. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see. Here's some of the art from it. Some of the new
art looks really cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
So there's Jonathan Kent, and it's going to have these are pretty cool. Check these out. These are like the cards showing Jonathan Kent, Mercy Graves, Batman vs. Robin.
Is that like cover art or is that interior?
Cyborg.
Art?
This is cover art right here. Doom Hunter, Save the World. These are
I like the Cyborg.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, I think it's cool.
That looks good.
Right?
So we'll have to see if this is a decent series. Decent storyline, but this Nezha, that's the character, that devil character. They're trying to prop that up to be a big character in the DC world. He almost reminds me a little bit of like a Null type look, like it's very like anime manga influenced. But it's he's a very powerful character, and if you guys have been again watching the show on Wednesday nights, Trey's been talking about this new character and the fact that Zatanna lost her powers, and all this crazy stuff is going on behind the scenes with magic, and that's where they're taking the DC comic universe right now. At the same time, we talked about Black Adam heading in that direction. You know how Marvel does it. Whenever they have something coming up in the movies, they like to pad it with comic material. Right. So be on the lookout for this character, this Neza character, Nezha. Is that it? Is that what it is? Let me see here. Nezha DC character. Probably they're calling it more dangerous than Doomsday, which is very interesting, as you know. But World's Finest number 5 recently had this character in it, but very interesting character. First appeared in Detective Comics 1050. So Detective Comics 1050, which recently came out. Yeah, be on the lookout for that book. And here is the book so you guys can see it. Great little spec play. So, and I was always a big fan of how crazy the Psycho Pirate is. So, here's your book. One of the books you want to be on the lookout for that character. That looks very interesting. That's for sure. It looks like it could be something cool.
Hey, Brian, do you think this is like they're trying to do Perpetua again? Remember, like, Justice League, they got into the annual, like, number 2, going out of death metal. Perpetua is supposed to be like kind of the baddie.
They could. I don't know. We'll see. I think this could be an interesting character. They're trying to play in the whole what's the Books of Magic character? Tim the character that everybody
I wish I knew more DC, to be honest.
The character that everybody thinks is that Harry Potter is based on. Tim
Drake?
No.
Timothy Hunter.
Thank you. Books of Magic. That's another character that's in play throughout all of this. So
I do love that cover, though. I'll tell that.
Are you still reading Batman or
I do. Batman's great.
Yeah. I'm reading both that and Detective. It's been good. Yeah,
they're good.
Local comic shop day titles are starting to be announced, and that's November 23rd. And this is kind of interesting. Walking Dead to Tori Amos. I'm a big Tori Amos fan. I know that sounds crazy, but
I am too.
Yeah, I love Tori Amos. Absolutely love Tori Amos. So here we go. We've got Chroma. That's Chroma number 1. Walking Dead Deluxe number 50. Fuck This Place Volume 1. These are all again.
I've been enjoying that read. The Fuck This Place.
Yeah.
So for those that don't know, it's basically this couple. They move into this cabin that was inherited by the family, and you can't, like, once you move in, you can't leave. And so at night, all these like zombies like come alive whenever you try to escape. And if you try to escape, you always end up right back at the house. So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, because I think the reason why I started reading it was I want to say Simple Man did it, like he had a preview of the first issue and then he reviewed it on one of those shows. I want on his show. So
yeah. AOA is saying the first World's Finest number 2, first Devil Neza. So that is first appearance that they're calling the first full appearance, but first cameo is in Detective Comics 1050. So you guys know how I play that. I say first cameo to me is first appearance. Fuck all this other shit. I'm gonna start saying that from now on. So
it looks like there's a really cool Natalie Sanders cover for that 1052.
Yeah, here's the 1050. Here's all the covers for it, as you guys can see here. Let's do a quick look. There is the Lee Bermejo, the George Molina covers. This is the Fabic, Molina. This is a 1 in 25. There's the Delato and a Delato variant. So there's the Natalie Sanders that you were just talking about. Probably some store exclusive. Yeah. And then a Will Jack. But a ton of variants for that book. Be on the lookout for both of them if you guys are looking to spec on this character. Get the Detective Comics 1050 and get the World's Finest number 2. Here you go, is World's Finest number 2, the Devil himself. A couple cool variants for this. There is a cardstock cover B, a 1 in 25. Here's the 1 in 25. That's actually pretty cool. And then a 1 in 50 Jimenez variant. So there you guys go. Shout out to Trey K on that.
I hope for the best for DC and the storylines. It's going to take a lot for me to start investing in DC villains.
Yeah. Here's another local comic shop day book. This is Behold Behemoth number 1 from Boom. This is Quick Stops number 1. Dark Horse. Looks like Kevin Smith book. Who cares about Kevin Smith anymore? I'm all Kevin Smith out. This is interesting. A pretty sweet Miles variant. Local comic shop day. Spider-Man number 2. Amazing Spider-Man 13 variant. And a badass Tori Amos Little Earthquakes. Jason Levesque.
That's great.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
Love Tori Amos.
That's a comic?
Yeah, man.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It says Tori Amos Little Earthquakes is the official graphic novel celebrating 30 years of Tori Amos' breakout album Little Earthquakes. This graphic novel features 24 stories inspired by 12 songs on the album, as well as the 12 B-sides that accompanied the album and its associated singles, with star writers such as Neil Gaiman, Margaret Atwood being assembled by Z2 editor Rance Hosley, who previously edited the multi-award-winning comic book Tattoo and who painted the cover for the recent Chris Mustady EP. So there's also this, the illustrated Weird Al. Look at that. Get your illustrated Weird Al cover.
How great is that?
Yeah, especially because it's the American Gothic homage.
Yeah.
So I know you're tired of homages, but that's pretty funny.
Yeah.
They could do a whole series of Weird Al homage hip hop covers. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Me like the Michael Jackson Thriller and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
White and nerdy.
All right. There is some more. Let's go through the real quick new Star Wars book that I thought was pretty interesting. That's coming out soon. This is another one-shot Star Wars Revelations. And to me, this is a little interesting because it's got that Eye of the Webbish Bog character, which is such a creepy character. They're bringing him back. I think it first appeared in Darth Vader number 9 from Volume 2, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, on the cover.
Yeah. And this is such a creepy character. It's like this dark force. I don't know necessarily if you want to call it like Sith character, but he's like he feeds off of dark energy, right? And he's basically, it looks like he's feeding off of a baby head in his current form. It's very interesting. So this is let me show you the covers for it. Let's see here. Does it show me the covers? This is just some previews, it looks like. But there's a new robot character that's coming in this book that's going to be a first appearance. So you want to, yeah, it's Rom. You want to get that, check out that book just for that first appearance. The new character, the new robot's character or droid's name is Ajax Sigma. And yeah, I'm cool. I love any Vader stories. Vader stories are the best. So I'm in on any of those. Pretty interesting cover right there. Maybe you want to get that cover, but this bounty hunter cover is badass. That's a good one. The great Vader cover, and what do you know, a Peach Momoko Afra. So there you guys go for all you Peach Momoko fans out there.
That's not horrible.
Yeah, that's not bad. It's Peach Momoko good.
I think
she has a little symbolism down here.
Isn't there another incentive for the Momoko for this?
There might be that I'm just missing.
Yeah. Like I think it's just a virgin version of that cover.
Okay.
Where it's like a 1 in 100 or 1 in 50. I can't remember.
Okay. This is pretty cool. This is coming out soon, coming out in a couple days. Werewolf by Night returns in Moon Knight Annual number 1. So here you guys go. Pretty interesting. Here is the cover. Might want to pick that up for any of you Werewolf by Night fans. And we have Marvel's January solicitations. Let's go through these real quick. We've already went through most of them, but it's kind of interesting. The new Spider-Man that's got the shitty homage cover. Another Amazing Spider-Man that's got another shitty homage cover. Dark Web Gold Goblin. Here you guys go. J. Scott Campbell cover that I actually kind of like. I kind of like this one because it would be great to have another artist put word bubbles on it and write whatever they think they're saying on it. So pretty fun cover to mess around with. Dark Web Venom. That's pretty interesting. It's got that shitty cover, but that cover is pretty interesting. There's the Miss Marvel book, Dark Web X-Men. So I don't know. Ooh, that's very interesting. Another great Phil Noto cover. Avengers War Across Time. Great Scarlet Witch cover right here for. What is this?
That is nice.
Scarlet Witch #1.
I like that.
Pretty cool cover. Wasp. Joe Fixit. I don't understand why they're even making this comic book, but go for it. Invincible Iron Man. That's a pretty dope cover right there. Riri and Iron Man.
Yeah.
That one's pretty dope. That one's not so dope. That one's not bad, whatever that is. Stormbreakers. They're going to be doing the Stormbreakers again, and that's a terrible Momoko.
It's almost like a steampunk variant, the previous one.
Yeah.
Where it's like kind of like, oh, but let's move it into a different direction.
This is nice. A nice Miles variant. Here's another one. Is this a Stormbreaker? I can't remember. There's a bunch of new Stormbreakers. That's terrible. And there's a black and white design cover variant for that new character. This is a new baddie, new big bad that's going to be in Miles Morales Spider-Man.
Is that with the new writing team?
This is Cody Ziegler and Federico Vicente. So there you go. Miles Morales' world is spinning out of control. A mysterious new threat is rising and coming at Spider-Man hard. That's interesting.
What issue is this?
Coming at Spider-Man hard. I don't know if that's a good thing to put. And if Spidey doesn't fight back with everything he's got, he could lose everything. What does this new villain have to do with Misty Knight's investigation and a slew of upgraded foes like the Scorpion terrorizing NYC? The battle is going to change Spidey's life forever. Someone's not walking away from this one.
I'm buying it just because Brian is actually doing the narrating.
Yeah. Moon Girl Devil Dinosaur. I don't know, man. That's actually a cool cover. I always like Devil Dinosaur. How they have him look in the new version of him. That's interesting cover. I love the backpack. That's a very interesting cover right there. Monica Rambeau, Photon. It's a pretty nice cover.
Yeah, they're going to make her a big part, I think, in the next run. I mean, honestly, if you get any Captain Marvels, like, I got no problem with her being the Captain Marvel.
Actually, I just realized
I really liked her in WandaVision, so.
This is not a nice cover because she doesn't have white eyes. She's looking, her pupils are at the corners, and I thought that was a cool cover because I thought she had white eyeballs. Right? Doesn't that look like she has white eyeballs? But when you zoom in,
oh, it's like she's side-eyed.
She's side-eyed. Yeah, man. That's not cool. If they were just white, that would be awesome. Anyways, let's go back. Here's the Miracle Man stuff. We'll get to that in a second. Here's the Shang-Chi Master of the Ten Rings. Miracle Man. See if there's a terrible Momoko cover. No. That one's not too bad right there. Stephanie Hans. Is that Hans? Who's that? Yeah, Stephanie Hans. It's not terrible.
She does great stuff, except for that one we saw earlier. But
Avengers 64, Part 4 of the Battle of Dawn. It's a pretty cool multi-character cover. That's not a bad cover. Is what it is. Avengers Forever, number 13. That's a pretty cool cover. I always love this type of shit. It's got the Vision. And what are they calling these covers? I forget what they call these, but these are pretty cool. The ones. But this, guys, is the reason why I brought this up. I am so stoked for this. The Sins of Sinister. To me, Mr. Sinister is one of my all-time favorite characters in anything. I love how he's been hiding in the shadows recently and doing his weird shit, and he's going to come out in a big way, and I hope that this might turn into a MCU type thing where he becomes popular enough to show up in the MCU. But there was a variant given out at a panel for the Sins of Sinister at NYC. So whoever got that, good luck on that one. X-Force 36, the man with the peacock tattoo, has had his sights on X-Force for some time, and when Domino, Deadpool, and Omega Red embark on a mission, they will fall right into his clutches. Be here for the first issue of the Xeno Saga finale as the team closes in on the man with the peacock tattoo, and the full breadth of his plans are finally revealed. It's interesting. That's a decent Nightcrawler. I just don't like how they give Nightcrawler a goatee. Makes him look stupid. And that's Liefeld. It's not bad. It's a weird thing, whatever's on our hand. Exterminators. Yeah. And then Immortal X-Men. Stormbreakers cover.
It's all right.
Badass Legion of X cover. Look at that. That's pretty sick. Yeah. It's a rise of mutant monsters has put mutant kind on high alert as the question of who will be next grows imminent. On Krakoa, a bizarre eco-technological structure has arisen around Nightcrawler's home, and Vox Ignis is on the case to figure out the origins. What he discovers has potential to bring the foundation of the living island to its knees with the clock running against them. Will the Legionnaires be able to quell the spiraling chaos before it's too late? That's a dope cover. And then, of course, Uncanny X-Men 141 Marauders variant, Peach Momoko cover right there. Yuck. And X-Men Red. Keep an eye on the X-Men Red stuff. That's a Stormbreakers cover. And Sabretooth and the Exiles. That's a pretty good cover right there. Background's great.
Yeah.
The art's great.
That is weird.
That's a good cover right there, too, man.
It's all like psychedelic art right there.
Yeah. I like that. X-Men Red. There you go.
Is X-Men Green still a thing?
I don't think so.
You know what I'm talking about, though, right?
No.
They had a couple issues that came out where it was supposed to be like it's X-Men books, but they're all environmental, like kind of books or whatever. It's came out recently. I don't know if they're still doing the series or not.
Murder World Wolverine, a bunch of different Wolverines.
How do we know if it's AI art or not?
Fuck is that, dude?
What is that?
Terrible is what it is. Doctor Strange, The Fall of Sunrise, Trad Moore.
Oh, okay.
Fantastic Four, amazing cover right there. Alex Ross cover. And then there's the Thing John Cassaday variant, which is badass. No, that's Alex Ross, isn't it? Maybe it's John Cassaday. Phil Jimenez. Phil Jimenez, maybe?
It's different, that's for sure.
Tiger Division. Number 3. That's a nice cover by Inhuck Lee right there. I like that. And that's okay. Yeah, Ron Lim. Secret Invasion. Of course, you know why they're putting that out. That's a very interesting Deadpool cover right there. Growing extra arms. Planet Hulk World Breaker. That's a pretty dope cover. I think that's how we're going to get all of our World War Hulk stuff is through She-Hulk. Stormbreaker's cover. What is that? Facsimile edition? Why do we want that? Is that first appearance of what is this? Why do we want this? First Mixer Fix It, maybe? I don't know. Avengers 2, Spider-Man Double Trouble. That's an interesting cover. Is that Ryan Gonzalez or Rian Gonzalez? Yep.
Looks like it. Yeah.
Spider-Man. That's a great cover right there. All the covers in this run has been great. The Deadly Neighborhood Spider-Man. Issue number 1 looks so good. So, Raza covers. Carnage. Captain America, Sentinel of Liberty. That is amazing right there, you guys. Phil Noto continuing to destroy it. There's a symbol of truth. And there's your Tosin cover. Where is Steve Horn? He needs to be here. Yeah.
It's not Tuesday, though.
Yeah. So
the Tosin Tuesday, 7 o'clock, right?
More of your Black Panther stuff. There is another. They're doing another 141 homage in the same month. All new, all different Savage Avengers. Savage Avengers number 9.
I guess
That's
I need
decent. That's decent.
Yeah, I guess I need to add a couple more to my to help my brother collect his 141 homages collection.
All Out Avengers.
Too much.
Nice Stormbreaker. Captain Marvel. That's a really, really good cover right there, dude. Wow. AKA. Is that how they say it? Or is it Aka? That's terrible. That's good. Thor. Number 30. That's actually a decent cover. Too bad nobody cares about Jane Foster. And Strange Academy, my favorite Strange Academy character, good old Doyle Dormammu, taking on his pops. And that's a cool cover.
Is that what's kicking off the new series?
I hope so, because that's badass. Strange Academy Finals number 4.
Oh, Finals. Okay. Yeah, because I know they're doing the final series and they're supposed to do they're supposed to relaunch or do a continuation for part 2 of the series or whatever.
That is a great cover. Lee Garbett almost has a Adam Hughes-esque look to him. A little bit sharper Adam Hughes, maybe. I love that. I love this cover. I love that dog character. Who's that dog? So be on the lookout for that. And Ghost Rider. That's a badass Ghost Rider cover, but that's even better. They're both badass. Moon Knight, She-Hulk, Daredevil. So supposedly they're going to be doing the Mayor Fisk storyline in the Daredevil show. And this is a beautiful Nakayama Midnight Suns cover.
That is nice.
Yeah.
Looks like he's trying to mix it up a little bit. Nakayama.
Yeah. Predator, Alien, Star Wars, High Republic, The Blade. Not final art on that one. And another High Republic. Interesting. Star Wars Yoda. That cover looks interesting right there. If it says not final art, but I like that cover. And The Mandalorian. That is terrible. Darth Vader. Look at that, you guys. That is awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah, beautiful Darth Vader cover. Noto, and then Raza. And then Star Wars, number 30. And Bounty Hunters. Great boss cover right there. That's a pretty cool cover. 40th anniversary.
I'm surprised that series has gone up to 30.
Yeah. Dr. Aphra, Han Solo, and Chewbacca. And that'll be it for Marvel's January solicitations. So pretty cool stuff. All right. I think that's it. You guys got anything interesting out there?
I do have a few pickups.
All right, let's get into pickups and call it a night, you guys.
What you got, Aaron?
Let's
What you got
see.
there?
I'll start off with a few cards because I know like people don't really care about that here. But this is a PSA 10 Lionel Messi select card. I bought this purely for a flip, like because we have World Cup coming up really soon. I just got a few more basketball cards in. Stopping buying basketball now because we are in the season. But here's a Trae Young orange PSA 10 out of 199. And to add to my Jaw collection, Mosaic Green rookie PSA 10 as well.
How many Jaws do you not have? Like, if you're like that hoops run colors
for the hoops run, the premium select ones.
Yeah,
So
how many? There are a lot of colors.
Yeah,
How
so I
many
think
do you
I'm
not
at the colored part now. So I need to get like the flash red, the what is it? A couple of the shimmer colors, and then at least one of the one of ones. I think that's. I think I'm like 6 or 7 away from completing that set to get the full rainbow. So yeah, so I'm pretty close, but one big thing I did want to show, I won a Tomb cover, so I was really stoked about that.
Nice.
Yeah, so he threw in a bunch of stuff with it as well. So this is Dungeons and Stuff. I won it off of on one of the Tombsdays. So make sure you're following
Swords and Snakes.
Swords and Snakes.
Yeah, so let's give him a quick shout out. Swords and Snakes on IG. Let me go ahead and
yeah, he just hit 100, and then it even came with a COA and everything. So there's a bunch of stickers in there as well.
One of our favorite people in the world and an amazing artist. Shout out to Tomb. There's the link in the live chat for Swords and Snakes.
Yes. So I was super stoked to win one of his Tombsday books. So it's really easy. Just he'll post a book on like or a new book that he has on Tuesdays, and you just have to comment, and then like to get extra entries, all you have to do is like put in different emojis, share that out to your Instagram story, stuff like that. I love it.
They're all one-on-ones too.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm happy to have won one that wasn't just like made for me and stuff like that, which was cool as well. So I'm going to add this to my Tomb collection pile. So it's really cool that he threw in the extra stuff like stickers and all that.
Dude, I'd never seen this one. Did you? I never knew you had your own one. Look at that.
Yeah, I have it right here. So yeah,
very cool.
This is like early on of jumping onto on Flipside and stuff like that. So
that's awesome.
When we had the stories of trash can beers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then so he asked me if I wanted the first print or he made a second print copy for me. I was like,
is that the next week's storyline?
Yeah.
What? I was supposed to like share this earlier that on Instagram, but I got sick, so I figured I'd just show it here on Modern Comic Mayhem.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So yeah, and it's kind of funny how we met. Like he jumped into like one of my Whatnot shows, and then was like kind of like because he had seen Dealer Flipside and was like, who's this guy wearing a suit talking about comics and stuff like that. And then like he jumped into my and then he jumped into one of my Whatnot sales and was like, who's this guy that's listening to the Misfits and all this other kind of stuff? Like he's like, it doesn't make sense. Like, what's up with this? He's like, I gotta talk to this guy. And so he reached out, and then we became good friends. But that's pretty much all I have for pickups. I'm saving my money for Baltimore. See what I can find out there.
It's Saltimore, Saltimore.
Saltimore?
Yeah, haven't gone to grad school there. Saltimore.
It's Saltimore? Okay.
Baltimore.
Has anybody else got any pickups?
I may have a few.
All right, let's take a look.
So trying to go through all the. I think I've shared with you guys. I'm going through getting all the old Star Wars figures collected in the AFA, and I have them the 1 through 76, but I do not have all the Power of the Force. But I did get one the other day.
Ooh, nice.
I think it's actually the closest thing to me as a Star Wars figure. Long arms, kind of yellow skin, doesn't really look attractive, but just he's kind of like, I don't really know how to describe him. He just kind of looks like this guy.
What's his name? Animan or
Manaman? Yeah,
Manaman.
It's not.
That's cool.
It's not. It's I love like having the 92 back. And Brian, I'll tell you the one I want the most. I think you and I both want the most. Han Solo, Carbonite. Yeah. But I think some of them are I think they're starting to come down a little bit, not much. I mean, like the Boba Fett's like for a while, like the 85s, AFA, Taiwan were like 500. They're like 250, 300 now. The Hong Kongs are like 150 now. So the Star Wars figures are starting to come back a little bit, but mid on card, yeah, they're still, especially Power Force, at least with this guy, Han Solo, Luke, they're still really pricey.
Final issues.
Yeah. Don't know if you guys just saw this today, but John Royal, $2.99, G.I. Joe. I know we talk about, I think it's actually a good spot to actually mention artists who are actually just incredible people, really nice people. John Royal is a great guy. I bought the 275 variant cover from him, and he's just a really kind guy, very nice guy. I mean, before he was actually coming out with this, like maybe like 5 or 7 issues in, IMing, like, who would you like to see? Who do you think should be on this? The theme, we're going to Cobra, then G.I. Joe. And I ran through every name. He has done that one. And you start going back 100 issues. Yeah, he's right. He's pretty much done everybody. But I thought it was really cool to actually, if you didn't acknowledge the fans for this. So more power to him. I think he draws like J. Scott Campbell, but at least he's more like me, you, and Brian, and Yi, and Tony. He actually talks to people.
Good dude.
Yeah, he really is. Really is a nice guy. I know I put some of these on the website or my IG.
What is that?
Yeah, this is cool.
So this, I think, is Hasbro's best thing they've done since they got Transformers that they've never really talked about. They got stamps. And so they have a stamp booklet. And I don't want to bore people through this, but literally, I'm not a stamp guy. But
like postage stamps you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yep. And these are the last stamps before the Queen didn't make it. So you can see her right on the corner there. And you actually, if you go through the book, they've got the Dinobots, and they've got the Decepticons, and they've got Autobots. And you see the Queen right there at the top every time. But I thought it was very cool.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, maybe nothing, but we'll see. I just think that the packaging I thought was really well, like the Matrix.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's cool. Very cool.
And then Loved Emperor. So I got one of these. The auto is a 10, the card's a 9. I think it's Clive or Bell is the original Emperor. So if anyone actually has seen the Empire Strikes Back before George Lucas did all the shit, which is fine, but the hologram was for this guy.
A different guy played the Emperor.
Yeah.
Ian McDermott.
It was a
didn't start till-
Palpatine.
Yeah.
And this was $37. So I
That's
thought that
pretty
was
dope.
Nice.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's a really pretty card and a good signature. And I remember this, like, growing up, I thought that was a great part. So, and just one last thing, and this has absolutely nothing to do with anything, but so last weekend, I don't know if anyone watched the Tennessee Volunteers beat Alabama, and the entire South go absolutely fucking nuts because it was pretty fucking great. So there's a guy who I'm really pledged with. Brian's met him. Really close friends with Justin. Justin's best friends with a guy named Al Wilson, right here, 27. He was a first round pick of the Broncos. He literally was the heart and soul of the 98 national champions. Everyone loves to talk about Peyton Manning in Tennessee, and Peyton's great, but Al Wilson was the heart and soul of it. We had a really good friend, and God bless him. He actually put this Nate, #1 ball fan. That's great. But just shout out to Justin and Al Wilson and some guys out there. Justin and I had a really good friend who died of brain cancer about 2015. Al Wilson, you got your guy, national champion, first round pick, the Broncos. He literally came to our tailgate and talked to Creighton, and literally just took him by his hand and just for 30 minutes just told him to never quit. And just like, I mean, he just lit up to him. And this guy was from Knoxville, loved the Vols, and he just sat there and he just, the entire time, like Al Wilson would not let him leave until he's like, you're going to beat brain cancer. You're going to do it. I believe in you. I love you. And it's not about at some points winning the game or whatever, but he passed away, unfortunately, about 6 months after that. And we still talk to Al, still hang out. And then Al, when we won last weekend, we were all texting. We were like, Jamal Lewis, Leonard Little, Justin, me, him, Al.
That's
Creighton.
cool.
And Creighton's wife, she got married, or they got married, or they were married before that. But they were actually, before he passed away, his wife was pregnant, and he named the child. She was a Ohio State fan, so the best part was like now we've been kidding around, like texting, like, oh my god, maybe we'll like the playoffs. Creighton's ghost, we're like determine everything. So yeah, long story short, but yeah, crazy stuff about that. But yeah, so
nice,
not bad at all. All right,
cool.
Tony, you got anything?
I do. I've got a few things I can burn through here quick. So on the flipping side of things, I've been trying to look at magazines more lately. Just because, not that they're hard to find, but not a lot of people are grading them, and they don't have to be 9.8s to pull down some money. If you're listing on eBay, you're probably going to be the only one. You're not going to have any competition, so you can kind of set your own prices. So just been looking for different kind of cool old stuff, a Slave Layup, People magazine in decent shape. Some old anything with Andre the Giant on it, you gotta love. This was one of those, I think it was one of those school magazines, Scholastic. They did a lot of pop culture stuff, but a really cool Karate Kid cover from way back in the day. And then I picked this up for myself. I don't know if I'm going to get this graded or not, but this just reminds me, like, for everybody who's so spoiled on the MCU that oh, this shows shit, this movie is shit. This was the 90s. This was the early 90s. This is what we had. This was a straight to video. This was like all the magazines. This was the hope of Marvel movies. oh my God, they're going to make a Fantastic Four movie. Finally, we get a movie. And it
wasn't even straight to VHS. It was like literally shelved and like never to be seen from the light of day, but then it got leaked out somehow.
Yeah. Basically they made it in order just to keep the rights. They just threw something together. I mean, look at her costume. Like the 4 is like, it's not even above her waistline. It's tucked under.
Have you seen it before?
I haven't. But I remember when the hype for this was coming out, it was like early 90s. Oh, they're going to do a Fantastic Four movie. It's going to be so, this was the great hope for Marvel movies. But it just reminds me of how far we've come and how spoiled some people are that, and I know some of us were just trashing Marvel stuff a little bit ago. But honestly, like, this is where we were. I'm so happy, even if a show I'm disappointed in it. It's awesome that I get to see whoever it is, Miss Marvel, Moon Knight, whatever, on screen, big name actors, big name special effects. So I might get this graded just for myself, just for the hell of it, for fun.
So I either mentioned it on Drunken Chat or Flipside or something like that I had never seen that film, and then someone was like, "Oh, you can watch it on YouTube," and then someone actually messaged me on Instagram, was like, they're like, "Oh, do you want a copy of it? Because I have it, and I'll just burn you a copy on DVD." And then they actually did burn a copy of it on DVD for me, and then actually made like a custom like case for it and sent it to me. So I was
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I thought it was pretty funny. So
yeah, make me a copy then.
Okay, it's on YouTube.
Okay, I'll check it out. Primetime Collectibles was doing mystery boxes on eBay, like $30-$40, and you got a lot of value in them. Primetime Collectibles does variants for a lot of indie, I guess on the risque side. I don't know if you'd call Mirka Andolfo risque, but there's Bill McKay covers for Unnatural, Mirka Andolfo for Zombie Tramp. It just had a lot of value in it. I mean, just the asking some Michael Turner stuff, some Mendoza stuff. For $30, I think each one probably had $50 worth of books in it. So those were kind of interesting.
Not bad.
Definitely risque.
Yeah.
Attack Peter had a cover for that new Lego.
Yeah.
What is it called? I think these are still cover price, but a big fan of the Attack Peter stuff.
Yeah, that's a really cool cover.
Whatever reason, been on a little bit of a Barbie kick lately. I think this is an homage to that dolphin.
Yep.
And I think this is the best cover of the whole. I mean, there's some pretty cool covers, interesting colors and designs, but I wanted to get a high grade newsstand of that one. And this showed up. I forgot that I pre-ordered it. I'm glad I did. Now that it's a freaking monster, I think I paid like $70 for it at the time. But it is
now
beautiful.
It's now like what, $300 or something like that?
Yeah, they're $250 to $300. It's been on every show this week, so it's just getting a lot of hype right now. It'll cool down a little bit later. Ronin, though, a lot of people talk about that show. Great show. I like the alternate universe, and there's an alternate. I think you guys mentioned it on the show last night, Brian. Right? That Mace Windu, or like another version of the Mace Windu, shows up in this.
I mean, I really enjoyed the Star Wars Visions anime shorts that they were putting on. Yeah.
And I picked up, there was a novel about the Ronin, a signed collector's edition of that I picked up that came out earlier this year.
Well, and then Topps did a Topps Now version of it as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
Just one card or a set?
No, it's a set of cards where they took steals. Okay. Yeah. So I don't know if that's from the same one. Yeah, this is the Ronin one.
Nice.
So yeah,
I'll keep my eye out for that. First appearance of Tiny Toons. This is a magazine back in 93. That new Tiny Toons show is coming out anytime now. I don't know. for 90s nostalgia.
Nice.
I back at the beginning of Image, this was one. It never did anything spec wise, but I just really liked the Mike Grell Shaman's Tears, and picked up this. IDW did the kind of the graphic novel version of it many years later. It's not easy to find, but I haven't read it since it first came out, so I'm looking forward to jumping into that again.
Hey, Tony, when you're doing the Tiny Toons, does anyone remember the best character in Tiny Toons? I'll tell you right now. Foulmouth. Does anyone remember Foulmouth?
Was it?
Oh, was that the little girl that used to like cuss all the time or whatever?
Yeah, and they only put her on there for like 2 seconds, and it was bleep, 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 and they would get her out. Best character of all time. And couldn't have been on there for more than 20 seconds.
Yeah.
It was a good show. I mean,
I loved it.
You know, it wasn't just for kids. It was, just like Animaniacs that came a little bit later.
Yeah.
I haven't watched it since I was a kid.
They did some really good music videos you can check out. They did some, They Might Be Giants and some other, some other videos you can check out on YouTube. Speaking of books, so I do from time to time speculate on books, actually, specifically if it's like a fantasy or a science fiction. So Red Rising is Pierce Brown. This was his first novel. It became a trilogy, and then I think now it's almost a trilogy of trilogies. I think he's working on the first book of the third series or whatever. They did a prequel comic book for Dynamite about 5 years ago called The Sons of Ares. It was Dynamite. It didn't get a lot of promo. But this has been in option hell for a long time. I guess, I don't know what you would call it. Game of Thrones set on Mars kind of thing. It's on everybody's list of shows, books that should be made into shows. They just haven't gotten it right yet. If you do buy books like Ready Player One, you want to get the first print, the first edition, and especially if it's a new author, then they don't have a lot of print run to begin with. They're just trying out a new person. So like Ready Player One was kind of the same thing. First novel by Ernest Cline. So those first editions go for about 100. So for the readers out there, if there's a book, that's what you want to hunt down. For this one, I've been hunting these down. The first edition, first print. So Pierce Brown, on the day of release, did a signing at this bookstore called The Mysterious Galaxy in San Francisco, where he's from. And at that one signing, he signed all the books, and then he had this Mars print, this Mars stamp made just for that signing. So whatever it is, 150 books that were at that signing have this specific Mars print. So I don't know. It's one of my own little rabbit holes. I've got like 5 copies of this. This one came with a little letter. It was one of the workers in the bookstore actually met him and talked about him and his family and all that stuff. But anyways, if you haven't read it, go read it. It's a really good book, audiobook, whatever you want to do. It's a lot of fun, man.
All right, not bad. Let's we're close to the 4-hour mark. We're a half an hour away. Let's end it with some Instagram art that I love this week, and we'll call it a night. Here we go. Some AI art that I really like. This is Bear Vision AI art. Really, really nice AI art. Love the mushrooms, obviously. I like to key in on the AI art, as you guys know, the stuff that I like. Here's another really, really cool jack-o'-lantern skull. I love jack-o'-lanterns. I love skulls, so mix them up. Pretty damn cool. Love this right here. Pazzy Doodles, an alien fox.
I hate to be Mr. Roboto right now. I was staring at this.
Yeah, right.
Actually, I'm kind of jealous that I'm not like Mr.
That one's
this
awesome.
Is a badass Dia de los Muertos. So this is a Dissy AI. That is gorgeous. right, some regular art. This is D Longfish, says that original sketches on sale tomorrow. So he had sketches of these available. Look at his sketches, man. Beautiful stuff. D Longfish. This was from October 13th. And I love his art. So I am going to hit follow like you guys should. So check out his art. Really, really good stuff. Good artist. Might be worth taking a look at for some non-homage variants. This is don't know how to say that first name, Ipwe Chang, and I'm gonna follow him too because this is a great commission of Spawn and Venom.
That's a much better Venom than the one we saw on the cover earlier.
Right? Just beautiful, man. So gorgeous, gorgeous stuff. Give him a follow. We've got Raymond Gay. This is a badass Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Armageddon game doppelganger turtle that he created on Procreate. Badass. Love it. Next, we got Ed Bennis. A great Ed Bennis Mary Jane sketch. Ed Bennis is a classic OG creator. And then we've got, this is Son of Comics with a K, and it's a gorgeous Silver Surfer chrome coat print. Signed and numbered by the amazing Corey Smith. We all love Corey Smith. You guys follow Corey Smith. Just beautiful right there. I wish I would have bought this. So I might have to reach out to Corey Smith and see if he's got any more left. This is the from Baltimore Comic Con coming up. If any of you guys go to Baltimore and you see this, grab this for me. This is by Marty Ballman, and it is a Baltimore Comic Con poster. Pretty freaking badass. Shout out to Marty Ballman. And then this is a gorgeous Mike McCone, famous comic artist. Beautiful Starfire. Gorgeous. And then Arthur Adams, a great Art Adams X23 drawing that he did for New York Comic Con. Love to own that. Whoever owns that, congrats. We talked about Scott Buon before. This is another image that he did, retro pumpkin wave ghost image. I love it. We showed his art last week. This is Simone Bianchi pencils that he did. Pretty badass thing pencils.
Did we both do a Mighty Mel V impression of Simon Bianchi today?
I only do Mighty Mel V impressions of Bianchi. I love the Rat King. I love his design, and this is a Mike Ruth design of Rat King that is just gorgeous drawing. 5-minute sketch. Can you believe that?
Wow, that was 5 minutes.
He said it was 5 minutes. I don't know if I believe it.
I mean,
pretty damn awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I would guess so. If that was, it would make sense. Like depending on how fast he times.
I don't think. Do you think he did the pencil part in 5 minutes and the inking part?
Oh, you mean the original sketch, like the outline?
Yeah, because look right here. Do you think? See?
Oh, because he's
There's
doing
no way, right?
Yeah,
because it's so good.
It's just got to be the inking that he did in 5 minutes.
The inking part. He probably. I mean, but then like the pencil sketch part, I wouldn't imagine that took that much longer, right?
I don't know. But it's badass.
I mean, that's incredible.
Yeah. Check this out. Alberto Dolce, we talked about him too, and he does some amazing stuff. This is a badass commission he did. Big cats and birds of prey to me are the most majestic of animals, and this guy is stunning. And I want to do a Beyond Wednesdays print or comic or something with this guy. I want him to do Beyond Wednesdays art because he is fascinating, absolutely amazing. You guys, look at this. Freaking love it.
Nice. It's almost like a new take on the MC Escher kind of stuff, right?
Bro.
Like with the skull that's like a wraparound or whatever.
Dude, it's amazing, man. Absolutely amazing art. So, I mean, I love how he does the like shadow puppets.
Yeah, the shadow puppet hands.
Look at that.
Yeah.
I mean, look at that. That's so good, man. So, Alberto Doce, Bird City Comics, where you at? Good stuff. All right, 2 more. We've got an amazing Jeff DeCal New York Comic Con sketch. Absolutely beautiful. Look at that.
I still need to frame mine.
Man, that right there is freaking fantastic.
That's
that
the
one's
one.
good. That
The Catwoman.
man. Yeah. That one right there is gorgeous.
That's it.
I like the
That's the
one he
one.
did of Death during MegaCon. That one was really good. I should he offered that to me too, and I should have taken it, but yeah.
And finally, Toshiro Agawa. Look at that.
Oh, that's really cool.
Dark Monk Worship, completed in 2021. White pencil on black paper. That is
cool.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So it looks like you can buy the original art, but
wow.
he does have prints. So I'm going to get myself a print from him. That is fan-freaking-tastic, man.
Hey, Brian, send me a text reminder about the Marty Bauman.
Will do. Will do.
Yeah. Because I'll forget. But
that being said, you guys, thanks for hanging out. Just short of the 4-hour normal. I'm glad we're changing that. It's only 3.5 hours this time. And Nate's got a badass Iron Maiden cooler.
Cool.
One thing before we leave, I want to talk to Nate really quick about NYCC, because he mentioned it early in the show and I didn't really have a chance to talk about him, but he not only got to go hang out with Nemesis Prime, who is just super, super cool dude, which was awesome. And I'm jealous of that. I would love to get him on the show sometime. Shout out to all the Lords of the Long Box crew also. One of these days we're going to get TiVo on here. I've been trying to get TiVo on. TiVo's just as busy as I am. So imagine that dude's just constantly.
You guys are kind of like the same thing.
Yeah,
like
we're very similar.
Very similar. Like I remember like Tom Brokaw, Sam Walt, like ABC, NBC.
Yeah. I like TiVo, dude.
And then,
good dude.
And then when I
we
was
both
with
hate
Zach,
Nico. So we're very alike.
And so when I was with Justin, he was talking to Zach. He was like, "You want to talk to Zach?" I was like, "Oh yeah," because I felt like we talked before so much, and so Zach and I talked for like 10 minutes on the phone. Manimal.
Yeah.
Just great dude. And so I called Manimal, asked for Zach or for Justin's address, just because I wanted to, if he's nice enough to give me the passes for Thursday and Friday to NYCC. Yeah. And I know, like, even though I got them one of those shitty exclusives, Comic Mayhem, but
it means a lot that you just reciprocated. And so shout out again to Nemesis Prime.
So, yeah, he's a great dude. Justin's good, really good dude.
Yeah. So one of these
Zach,
days you need to come hang out with us. You also got to hang out with another one of my favorite people, that being Dominic.
Dom should not stay out that late in the Lower East Side.
Why is that?
No, Dom's great. So we were, I was with a buddy of mine. So the guy I usually get all the tickets from, like to the Mets games and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So he's like, "Yeah, I'll meet you out in the city," because he wanted to come out in the city. And I was like, "Okay, I'm going to be here. I'm going to meet a couple people out." I was like, "I'm going to Horseshoe Bar. I love Horseshoe Bar. If people want to come there, that's fine. If they don't know where it is." But the funny part is, if people actually watch the Marvel movies, they watch Jessica Jones, all this stuff, like where Justin and I were at Rudy's, when they ask her, "What's your therapy?" Rudy's, 44th and 9th. They give free hot dogs. Horseshoe Bar, 7th and B. It's where the whole thing with Luke Cage gets exploded. I mean, that's actually the bar that explodes. That's actually where Jessica Jones comes in. everything kind of builds around horseshoe bar, literally, because it's like a horseshoe inside. And so when my buddy comes in, he's like, "What are we doing?" I'm like, "Well, Colts are playing. We're taking the under. We're like, how can we tease it? We're like 42 points. We're going back and forth." And I've never met Dom. We just kind of message back and forth because, like in Star Wars, liking Star Wars, Southern accent. He's like, "Oh, I live by there." And so he came by, and I don't know what time 10 runs into 2 or 3, but super.
That's
I mean,
awesome.
just a sweet guy. I mean, like, he really is just the nicest guy in the world.
By the
He
way,
really is.
all those guys know over there, and I've said it multiple times, and I even threatened to steal Dom multiple times. Dom is my favorite Reniverse host.
I will say what
best.
you see on there and what you get in person, man. Just like my accent, which is very thin to me, but very thick. I'm probably to most people. His New York accent, I mean, like, could be bread and butter. And so we just hung out, had a good time.
He's
Great
got
guy.
the best IG
Sweetheart.
too. If you guys don't know, he's a huge Boba Fett fan, and he's got a great IG. So follow Domtober on IG and go give shit to the Renovision crew that I said that Domtober is the real deal, and I'm going to steal them if they don't watch out. If they don't treat them good, they're always over there picking on them.
Well,
and
nobody knows me over there because, like, he actually was talking about that on, like, the show after he's like, "Yeah, I was with Nate, Travel Guys." He's like, "We're like, who the fuck is that?" I'm like, "It's like being at my parents' house. Who the fuck is that?" Like, never heard of him. So
yeah.
He's great,
They
man.
like to play that game over there.
He's a sweetheart. He's a very, very, very nice guy.
Yeah,
Love him.
very, very nice dude. Puts out, like I said, in my opinion, he's got my favorite Star Wars content out there. He does great little IG clips where he goes into cons and stuff, and he's always showing his new pickups on IG. So good stuff. Check him out on.
There's a lot of stuff. Like I mentioned a few years. Like, I didn't know about, like, the Funkos that would come out with the Boba Fett's or they're numbered. He knew everything about it. Like, so he's a great resource for that. He loves the Funkos. He loves Boba Fett. He will tell you exactly, boom, 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 what's that. It's like kind of hanging out with this guy. Hold on.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. That guy. Yeah. You know, it's funny how you meet some pretty good people around here.
Community, you guys, community. That being said, let's get out
Real
of here.
community.
Thanks for hanging out. We will see you guys on Wednesday, and of course, every Wednesday and Saturday. I am going to have another sale tomorrow, so it's already up there and whatnot. Go give it a follow, and we're going to be doing sales every day on whatnot, whether it's comics, cards, action figures. I've got a whole case of Topps Jumbos I got to open that I'm going to personally open, but I might play some games with it. I've got mystery packs that I'm putting together right now for basketball and football season that are going to include unopened packs in them of 1990-91 Fleer. There you go. And 2019 Prism
91?
packs.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So we'll see you guys then. Thanks for hanging out. Much love, you guys. Adios.
Dude.
But anyway.
Dude, bro, that was classic.